It's been a while, so I want to make sure that our bitrate is solid. I want to make sure we are doing good. Twitch is now playing on another screen. I need some music while my food gets here. Because I'm sort of like all over the place at the moment.
It's time to ask more of
No ads. No ads on this stream. No ads. Unless you're watching them from Twitch. Sorry, I don't control that. Hello everybody. How you doing? Hope you're all doing great. I'm GC. In case you don't, 3 ads on a video. 3. They're making me watch 3 ads? That's absurd. That's freaking ridiculous. All right. We got that going. We got that going. Music needs to be a little quieter. Just like a little bit though. That's good. That's good. I need to tell people that we're going live. So this actually needs to be over here and this needs to be over here. And then all right. I'm just waiting on dinner to get here, and then I'll eat really fast, and then we'll start. Then go over here. It is a Monday night, so I don't know if there's like a lot of people gonna be able to hang out, but you know, we will see. We'll see. Post this in my server. How's my bitrate going? Still pretty good. All right, internet's doing good today. Good. Excellent, excellent, Bob, excellent. Food is almost here. Just gonna have to take a second to wait for it to get here and give people a chance to walk in. Give me a chance to set up, actually. I think I'm a little too low to the ground. A little too low to the ground. I'm a little too far to the side. That'll change when we go into gameplay, but I want to keep it easy. Can I lower the brightness on my lights? I don't think I can. Should I just wear like, excuse me, should I just wear like sunglasses? Cause this shit bright today. Let me see if wearing like those blue light things work. Oh, you know what? You know what? I have my Gunners. My old ass Gunners. Remember Gunners? Did Gunners turn out to be like a fucking scam? Does anybody remember Gunners? They're just like tinted glasses, and like I could have sworn we figured out that somebody figured out that they're like a scam. Allegedly, like I don't know if that was ever a thing. I just remember that was like, why is my face so narrow? Oh my god, these glasses make my face like, no, just today I just look narrow. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I just got back from like a huge like trip. Yeah. GC going orange mode. Careful how you say that. Oh, it matches my car. Oh, wow, I like that. Wow. You telling me a dragon fried this quest? You telling me a dragon went on this quest? And there's a second one? Ugh. Hello everybody, welcome in. Shuffle on in. Shuffle on in. We are starting momentarily. I am just waiting. I am just waiting for. I'm just waiting for my food to get here, and then I'll eat really quick because I'm very hungry. So I'm getting sick. I went to a wedding over the weekend, and I woke up. I was like totally fine, and then I went to sleep in the car on the way back home, and I woke up and my throat was hurting. So I think I'm getting a cold. I think I'm having like a delayed reaction to like something that everybody else seemed to have caught at the wedding. So why is my head feels so narrow? I feel like I'm going crazy. Anyway, so I took an ibuprofen. And of course, when you're sick, you don't have an appetite, but when you take medicine, when you're sick, part of what the medicine helps do is bring back your appetite. So now I'm hungry. And I wasn't hungry like all day, so I gotta eat something before we play. Every time I think of Gunners, I think of the Tim Rogers quote from this Dragon Quest XI review where he talks about Hori is always wearing aviators. Give the man his royalties, Gunner optics. It's true. Hori's got like this very iconic look. It's very weird. You would expect him not to have one, but it's like, nah, he's been wearing aviators his entire life. Been meaning to watch Dragon Quest shows, but I decided I wanted to play the games first. I've only played 8 and 9 and a little of the first one. Oh, well, you're welcome to join in on this first one. We're playing the remake of the first one. It's very different from the original release, as I'm told. Yes, Uncle Theo is back. Uncle Theo is back. Oh my god, speaking of which, my brother and I, of course, are both at the wedding. And our nephews come up to us, and we're both bald. We both shaved our head for the wedding again. And my nephews come up to us, and my nephews point at me and go, "Look, it's Theo." And for people that don't know, they call me that because my brother, when they were very young, would tell them that my name was Theo. So that stuck. I'm like that forever. And then they were like, "Look, it's Theo," and I was like, "Yeah, but like now we both look alike. So who's Theo now?" And they pointed at me and they said, "You're still Theo." And I was like, "Fuck!" Why is that batshit movie? That was a partial adaptation of it's a 5, and it does have a weird meta narrative at the end for no reason. It's really strange because the movie I think the movie literally drops the ball at the end. Straight up, I think the movie just drops the ball at the end, and then there's like a couple things here and there where the movie just kind of like things sort of like lose steam. The movie sort of forgets. The Your Story movie just kind of like it kind of loses the plot for a while, and it kind of forgets what it's like trying to do, it seems. It's just very unfocused of a movie. Parker Simmons voices Pankraz in that, and he's a fan of the Dragon Quest retrospectives. Parker Simmons, I forget what role. I think he is the creator of Mau Mau and OKKO. Let me look that up so that I'm not crediting him incorrectly, because that would be embarrassing. Yes, he is the creator and EP, I'm assuming executive producer of Mau Mau. I think he worked on OKKO. I'm pretty sure he did like he had an important role in OKKO. But yeah, he voices the Dragon Quest dad in Your Story. He voices Pankraz, and he does a really good job of it. I genuinely think that's a really good performance as Pankraz. Give me a second, I got someone knocking on my door. Yeah. Shout outs to kids for calling it like it is. Yeah, I respect that what they're going for with the ending, but man, it's a bit of a mess. Yeah, like I think the movie needed. I think Your Story needed way more of what it was trying to do at the end throughout the movie for it to be more successful, for its ending to be more good. Like, I know that's like a really bad way of putting it, obviously. I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head right now, but I really do think, like, if you wanted to be more meta narrative with it, you needed to sort of like have more of that concept in the movie for more like time. And unfortunately, they really didn't like lean on that aspect of it. So it feels really, because literally it only comes up at the beginning and at the end, which makes me believe that originally Your Story was just going to be a movie of the story of Dragon Quest V, but they ran out of time or money. They couldn't do the whole story, or maybe it was like they were trying to make a trilogy thing happen or something. Like maybe they wanted more than one movie, but they ended up only being able to get one movie, so they had to cut for time, which is why the movie ends before the story actually ends. The movie ends before the story actually ends. There's like huge parts of Dragon Quest V missing from that. And like the meta narrative stuff is tacked on at the beginning and at the end. It bookends the movie, which makes me think that instead of rewriting everything, they just added 2 or 3 scenes to the front and end of the movie to recontextualize it with that meta narrative thing. But because the rest of the movie doesn't really like build on that, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you just kind of feel a little let down because, you know, the story of Dragon Quest V is great, and it would have adapted pretty well. I think honestly, of all of them, I think Dragon Quest V's story would have adapted to a movie pretty. I don't want to say easily, because I don't know what goes into storyboarding and screenwriting to that degree, but I think it kind of has like a pretty decent, like it literally has. You could attempt to do a 3-act structure between the different eras of Dragon Quest V story, right? Like child, young adult, later less young adult. You know, I think it would have worked out just fine. I think there's a lot of different ways you could have done that, and that story kind of lends itself to like a 3-act structure or like a screenplay. But you know, what do I know? I had 8 on the PS2 as a kid, was pretty blown away with it, but I don't know what fans generally think of it compared to the others. 8 is largely regarded as one of the best ones. There are a few people out there who are like, 8's okay, but it's like really slow. I disagree with those people on that front. I think there is like some complaints of like 8 being a little too theatrical, but that's kind of the point, right? Like that's kind of like calling Dragon Quest 8 too slow or having a problem with the speed of Dragon Quest 8's gameplay, to me, sort of like misses the historical context of why it's like that, in that it is the first like fully realized 3D Dragon Quest game. So it's slow because animations are a little bit more elaborate, because they want to kind of like give fans of the series at the time sort of like a really good like example of what Dragon Quest was going to be in the future. You know, they were setting a standard. Ironically, Dragon Quest 8 marks like the start of like the series taking a lot longer to come out and so on and so forth. But, or actually 7 was like that. 7 kind of messed up a lot of the pacing of Dragon Quest releases, in good and bad ways. But anyway, it's very similar to Final Fantasy X, right? Final Fantasy X is like the first fully realized like 3D, like full, like well, not full, because there's still pre-rendered backgrounds in 10, but like, you know, really ambitious, like we want to push this to like the next gen modern age sort of like thing. And so Final Fantasy X often gets a lot of the same complaints, or at least it used to, where it was like, oh, you know, it's very elaborate, the battles take long, the acting is a thing, and the voice acting is cringe, and this and that, even though I don't think it actually is, but, you know, you'll find that if you follow a series, an RPG series especially, that goes from 2D to 3D around the PS2 era, you'll notice that a lot of the complaints are the same. Thank you so much for the subscription. And also, hello. It was lovely to see you at the wedding. But yeah, you'll notice that a lot of games from that era, a lot of RPGs that were 2D RPGs that became 3D RPGs during like the PS1, PS2 era, you'll notice that a lot of those specific entries have the same like criticisms leveraged at them, and a lot of that historic criticism, you know, nowadays we can look at that in hindsight and be like, it was probably because people, you know, it was probably because there were growing pains in making that transition, and so, you know, we have those complaints, we have those issues. I don't know where this guy is. My Uber Eats driver is like in the middle of the road. Is there a traffic light there? No, I think he got into an accident, man. Oh shit, he dropped it off. The GPS was just acting weird. I'll be right back. Oh, thank God, the tag with my name, my order number was on the opposite side of the bag. You couldn't see it on stream. Whew, dodged a bullet there. Was not thinking when I brought this into the room. Tell you what. Tear that off. One time my DoorDash driver drove into a ditch because Google Maps can't find my house well. I actually have like special directions on my Uber Eats orders because we're in like a relatively, where I live is a relatively new development. So for a while, not anymore, but for a while, the GPS was literally telling people to drive like way down the street, and in my instructions I had to like remind them what the house numbers were, because otherwise they'd drive right past us multiple times. I don't think there's any identifiers on this, but I will be extra careful because I have been very bad about that lately. What is this extra bag? Hello? Oh, it's just fries. It's just fries. Here I am thinking I got a special prize or something. Alright, sorry, you're gonna have to watch me eat on stream. I know I promised you Dragon Quest, but it's a mukbang now. Sorry. Big Pappy's hungry. Bro's eating fries underwater. Hell yeah. Doxing yourself via Popeyes would be wild. I know. Hmm. I've had to be careful because we have a coffee shop around here that I like to go to. There aren't that many locations. So if people knew the brand, they'd know where I live. I've had a few close calls on stream. Not that I suspect anybody that actually watches my streams and like wants to be here to do anything like that, but you know, you got to be careful. And like, I'm not like a cybersecurity specialist. I would have been if I kept following my comp sci degree, because I was planning on going into. I was going to do a bachelor's of science in computer science, but I was going to specifically go into artificial intelligence, not Gen AI. Before that, the actual artificial intelligence thing, the version of AI that used to be okay, which was like, you know, building systems that learned over time to do actually beneficial things, and cybersecurity. I was going to specialize in those two things. And so I don't know a whole lot, but I know a little bit. And like, even if you're just a general computer science student, like you'll learn how easy it is to fuck people up. Yeah, like machine learning. I guess it's machine learning. It was literally like the same science that goes into teaching a video game enemy AI to like adjust to your playstyle in like a fighting game or whatever, like that. I was going to specialize in that because that's what I wanted to do in game development. I didn't want to, because when you go into game development, yeah, you're a programmer, but like at really big projects, you know, you have a lot of programmers working on different stuff. I wanted to be an AI designer for it. I wanted to design the algorithms that would learn off of player input. Yeah, exactly. It's just Shimaru. Like you have to add so many qualifiers now so that people know what you're talking about. Yeah, they got Delta music in this. They gave me a lot of. I guess they were out of. I ordered mac and cheese, but they didn't give it to me. I guess they were out because like instead of 5 pieces of chicken tenders, they gave me like 10. NBC that does more than run into walls. Yes. You fucking suck. Hey Nap. Yeah, like I wanted. Part of the inspiration for wanting to go into that was that I've played a lot of Ubisoft games, but I've played a lot of stealth games, and I've never liked the behavior of AI, of like enemy AI in stealth games. I don't think enemies should ever like truly give up looking for you once they know you're around. So my big brain long-term plan was for my capstone project. For like my capstone project or my thesis, if I ended up going into a master's program, was I was going to design a smarter algorithm or propose a design for a smarter algorithm for specifically that context of like breaking down stealth game AI, and sort of proposing a new way to do it in which it behaves more organically and makes more sense, and like justifying it with like this and that, and I was gonna create like a whole my end of degree project was basically gonna be a stealth game that had an AI that had an enemy AI that actually like adjusted to your actions in a way that actually made more sense. Obviously that was like far away, so I don't actually have anything concrete, but that was going to be my plan. Like that was legitimately like I had that set in stone. Like I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go into this, and then my end of year project is gonna be that. You know, assuming that I'm not grouped up with somebody and I have to do something else, because obviously, you know, if that happens, then I'm not doing that unless they want to use my idea. Maybe Kojima will do that physics. Yeah. MGS5 is still the best to do it, in my opinion. I don't think in a stealth game, I know we're getting off topic from Dragon Quest, but don't worry, I'm almost done eating. I don't think enemies in a stealth game should ever give up on looking for you once they know you're there. I think they should all be on alert. They can be cautious, right? But I think if you want the room to reset, the player should either have to leave for a very long time, or you should have things in place that sort of make it happen. Play MGS5, yeah. Can you, in MGS5, can you hold, like if they're on alert, can you hold one of them hostage, force them to call off the search, and then knock them out? Because that's something you could do that's makes way more sense to me. You couldn't 3? Damn. Yeah, Splinter Cell, I think Splinter Cell gets away with, it gets around that problem by basically designing the stealth game where if you screw up your stealth, you're screwed, right? Like that's a really good workaround, and I appreciate that. Because I do like it when stealth games are like, no, you messed up, do it again. I like it when stealth games do that. I like it when they have a healthy checkpoint system, but I do like it when they are unforgiving in that way. Because modern stealth games, like, they tend to also be open world games now. And it's like, oh, did you mess up? Okay, well, now the quest is going to have like a slightly, you're going to be shamed for it in the text. And I'm like, I don't care about that. That's just annoying to me. I want you to like force me to get better at the game. I was playing a stealth game recently that did it, actually. That had like a really good balance. I think Star Wars Outlaws was actually a really good example. It didn't do it exactly like that, but in Star Wars Outlaw, they have a reputation system. And if someone catches you from a faction that you have a good reputation with, your reputation starts to drop fucking fast. I literally did that in Assassin's Creed the other day. Like literally like 3 weeks ago. I killed one dude. Another guy walks by, killed that guy. Another guy walked by, killed that guy, all in the same spot. I actually did a full stealth playthrough of Mankind Divided, exactly like that, Winters. It was beautiful. This is a good biscuit. I've been ordering from Popeyes and KFC interchangeably over the course of the last like couple of months. And the biscuit has always come out like shit. But today it came out good. Have you ever played Tenchu? 2? 1? I played the PS2 Tenchu game. Tenchu Z. I played Tenchu Z with a friend of mine. Long time ago. Long time ago. Oh my god, that was delicious. Thank you, Popeyes. You've saved my life. I was so fucking hungry. Jesus. I will be right back. I'm gonna go put my leftovers in the fridge. I'm gonna go wash my hands. And then we're gonna start Dragon Quest 1 Remake, one HD, 2D, whatever the fuck it is. God, my head looks so narrow today. What is it? I think it's like the way I have my, like, is it my hoodie or my beanie? Did I just like did I have like a lot of air in my head? Like got like leaked out or something? I just feel like it's very narrow. I feel more narrow. Maybe it was all the Miami humidity. I don't know. I'm just saying, I've had like a big ass football head for like the last few years, so I don't know how the fuck this happened. They gave me a fork for the mac and cheese, but there's no mac and cheese in my goddamn bag. So sad. Alright. Be right back. It's the water orb. You think it's because of the water orb? It might be because of the water orb. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. Okay. I had to bust out the old outfit, you know? I had to get the old The old, oh, it's all green screened out. That's okay. How the fuck am I gonna wear this with the... You're gonna get a rhyming intro for Dragon Quest 1? I got you. Right off the top of my head, ready? You thought we were done, but hang on. There's one more run for Dragon Quest 1. Got your ass. I still got it, baby! Can I clip that? Is my Twitch shit set up for that? Clip that. I just did it. Great. Let's close that. No more music. No more music. On my birthday? Oh, I turned off streamer mode on Discord. That's fine. Discord's not even like... I don't have display capture. Thanks, that was dope. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, we're gonna start. I did check my bitrate. Everything should be fine. I don't think I'm gonna have any internet issues, but you never know. If it happens, stick around. If everything breaks, I will probably write a message in chat to be like, we're fucked. So, yeah. Anything I should worry about with this version of the game? Like, not in terms of like what's in the game, but like, is it gonna like dox me? If you do a video for Dragon Quest 1 Remake, you should try to write the script in Old English for thematic consistency. Either that or iambic pentameter for the record. I am joking. Well, I am planning on writing a... Oh, it's Art Dink. Hey, Art Dink. I am writing a... I am going to do a video on all 3 of the remakes. So that is actually the plan. Not just on 1 and 2, but on 3, because I never did one on 3. But I wanted to wait. It's even important to wait. It's gonna list every Uber Eats order you've ever made. There's not enough space. There's not enough space for like the last month of Uber Eats orders to be on screen. We'd be there forever. Thanks to the heroic efforts of the legendary Erdrick, the Lord of the Underworld was defeated, and peace returned to the land of Alefgard. Yet this peace was not to last, as the diabolical Dragon Lord rose up and unleashed horde upon horde of monsters on the realm once more. Now it falls to you, Erdrick's descendant, to lay the fiend low and rescue the world from its plight. Okay. Language settings, voice language, let's do English. Let's keep it English. Windowed, borderless, 1080p, 60 FPS. Turn on that VSync. Everything on high. Good. Oh, I gotta record footage. Oh god, it's all falling apart. Unfortunately, I don't think the crown fits on my head alongside the what do you call it? Sorry, I'm trying to record. We good? Are we good, Dragon Quest? Are you gonna record footage for me? It doesn't look like it, actually. We might have a problem in that regard. Let's see. I see Shadowplay on. It's not a big deal if I lose footage of Dragon Quest 1 because I can just replay Dragon Quest 1. Hey, Bywise. Who up timing they boat? 1000 FPS, we got it. Currently unused. Please decide upon a name. Oh, fuck. Does the remake still, like, base my stats around my name? What's his name? What's his official name? It's not one. It's, he had an official name. It's not Bob. He had an official name. Hold on. Okay, if I alt-tab, it cuts the recording. Good to know. Dragon Quest 1 Heroes official name. It's just Hero. Damn it. I don't want to name him Hero. It's boring. You should get a speedrun timer to the top left to figure out how long TTV is, or figure it out by adding up however many VODs it takes. Oh, you know what? I have a plugin for OBS that lets me record stuff. Without recording other stuff. Hang on. So I can actually do filters, I think. Effect filters, source record. I don't want to put that there. I want to put it in my footage folder. In my 2D HD 1 and 2D remake 2D. Record mode. While streaming. We're gonna try it. And then I have to set all this shit up. I don't want to do it. This should be fine. Honestly, all this should be fine. So now I close this. And if I go, I might have to add it to my OBS. Do you know the name of it? It's called Source Record. And it is life-changing. Sorry, folks. I know I got you all excited about starting, and now here I am wasting your time. I just need to refresh this real quick to make sure it's like building a file. You know what? I'm not even worried about it. Let's go. I'm gonna be cheeky. I'm gonna call it 1. Source Record is made by a guy that does a lot of plugins. The author of the plugin does a lot of other plugins, so you'll know that you're in the right place when you find like a bunch of other plugins by the same person. There's also a couple YouTube videos on it with like more direct links. Okay. Damn it. I can't get it to stick. What replaces Time to Boat in Dragon Quest 1? I don't know. Time to Princess? Speak in English. Do you want to split? No. We'll just do regular. We'll just do regular. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about. Is this like the original difficulty level? Is this going to be true to the original difficulty of the original games? I don't really care. I'm not really worried about that. Honestly, the original's kind of busted in a lot of ways, and they've done plenty of work to improve that. Let me know how volume is. Let me know if everything's good. Oh, I recognize her voice. She's from 11.
Threatens this world.
I'm so glad they're still using this voice actor stuff.
It will swallow it entirely. It may
It's not
already
canon
be
anymore.
too late. Nevertheless, perhaps you, Scion of Erdrick, might prevail.
Isn't this how the 3 remake also started?
Please. You must make for Tantacha. You must do all that you can.
I'm pretty sure.
The fate of the world rests with you.
Oh, hell yeah. He was just like taking a nappy. A little nap. A little sleepy sleep. I don't know if that tassel is his hair or if it's just like a thing. I fucking love falling asleep with the Force. It's extremely safe. Clearly not. Clearly fucking not. Oh, this is new. Canst thou stand? Speak to me. Who dis? Is this? Oh, okay. Just finished your full series or compilation. It was awesome. Is your Dragon Quest 3 remake playthrough watchable anywhere? It's not, but I am making a video on the remake trilogy once I'm done with these. Also, welcome to the stream. Time to slide. Whoa, he came in fast. Who thou art here to aid us? Oh, this news is about to be the most common refrain, I'm sure. Boom, boom. Also, hey Nat, Final Fantasy be looking different. Well, like 1 or 2 major mishaps. Yeah, you know, I'm used to sleeping in forests. One time, got my horse stolen, fell into a parallel world. It almost blew up, but, you know, I held by overcoming some of my own personal hang-ups that were manifested as physical representations of the trials and tribulations of the people who lived in that parallel universe. But I got out, you know. No problem. The setup for this scene seems pulled right out of a stage show. Oh yeah. We are in thy debt, stranger. Hadst thou not come to our aid, we might well have perished. Indeed, to best a whole host of monsters single-handedly is the work of no ordinary warrior. If I might ask, what bringeth thee to the forest alone, stranger? Journeyest thou somewhere? I'm going to the castle. Hey, you guys see the castle around here? Yes! I love Zounds. Zounds! Thou art of the line of mighty Erdrick! The hero of legend, hence thy prowess with the blade. And a voice heard in a dream did truly tell thee to make for Tantagel. Nonsense, such talk is the stuff of fairy tales. Hold thy tongue, thou addressest our deliverer. A slow nod. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Stranger, we are guardsmen of the king of that very realm. Allow us to escort thee hence. 'Tis the very least we can do. Yeah, I heard a voice in my head that said I need to save the world. It's like a lady that keeps talking to me in my sleep. At first I thought it was just me having a wet dream, but turns out it's more serious than that. So you're speak with a country accent? No. Behold, yonder lieth fair Tantagel. Check that shit out. And beyond it, that accursed isle, upon which standeth the dwelling place of that foul demon who did appear as if from nowhere to lead the fiends against us. The Dragon Lord. Damn, buddy. It's pretty rough. He talks like a normal ass dude while everyone around him is stuck in old England. He's like, yeah, you know, just looking for a castle, man. I wonder how drunk the king will be. We'll see. If he's voiced, then I'm not gonna say shit. We shall go ahead and inform... Blah. We shall go ahead and inform the king of thy coming. His esteemed majesty, Lorik the 16th, will surely grant an audience to one such as thee. Truly, Captain, we have only this man's word that he is indeed a scion of the legendary hero. Yes. That is a good point. I did not think of that. The veracity of that claim is neither here nor there. That we were delivered from marauding fiends by his courage and strength of arms is enough. Tantagel, nay, our entire world hath need of such warriors as he. Now come! We must grovel before our liege. But forgive me, stranger. I've not yet asked of thee thy name. To whom shall I inform his majesty that we owe our lives? I'm one. One what? One! One of me. That's my name. Are you voiced, Mr. King?
that, traveler.
Oh,
It
no
seemeth
drunk
thou art
king
a warrior
voices.
of great skill. We have long awaited the coming of one such as thee. The captain did relate to me the tale of how thou didst best a whole horde of fiends single-handedly.
Whoa, man.
And did thereby
Pretty
deliver
wild
he
stuff,
and his
huh?
comrades from peril. And not only
Hey,
this,
listen, you
but
got
thou
like,
art of the
you got
bloodline
any,
of
you
mighty
been
Urge,
traveling,
if
right?
it is true. Then thou
You got any
knowest, of
alcohol
course,
from,
the
like, a
legend of
faraway
thine
land?
ancestors' deeds.
I'm getting kind of bored of wine.
Then now I'm slipping into Ice King. I'm slipping into Ice King from Adventure Time. Is it Ice King? And now no, it's because I'm sick. It's probably because I have like a fucking frog in my throat. And thou knowest of. I'm sick, by the way. Sorry, I was getting sick on the way home, and now I'm like fully in a cold.
I hear you got the blood of that guy, Lotto or whatever.
Yeah, Ice King.
Hey, man.
The Legend of Thine Ancestors' Deeds. Yes, I do. I did play the third remake.
But
I
of
did
course
I did
thou
play
dost.
the remake before
Even
this
babes
one.
in arms know the tale by heart. In days of yore, thy revered ancestor did receive of the almighty goddess
It was
the sphere
fucking
of light,
cool.
and by its power was our world rid of
Is
the
Tom
monstrous
Kenny here?
menace that
Yeah.
beset it. Yet the tales make no mention of any of the hero's bloodline having survived to the present day.
Oh, shit.
Thou truly
Fuck.
believest it to be so? That thou art of the line of Erdrick.
We got a hydrate dream from last month. I didn't even stream last month, but I'll hydrate. I am postured. I'm postured. I'm postured, okay? Don't be fucking spamming hydrate in my goddamn chat, Nat. I swear to God. Does this work? Can I keep the crown on if I like? This works. You can't even tell the crown's on my fucking head though, because none of the red is showing. So maybe it doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We're in there. That thou art the line of Erdrick. Forsooth, my lord.
Praise
true.
be! These are glad tidings indeed. But
Edric did
possessest
indeed.
Thou proof, perhaps, of this claim?
Turkey-based one
Or are we
of
to
my
believe it
grandmothers,
based solely on a voice,
which
heard
makes
in a
him
dream?
one of my grandfathers. I am a seed from the
Thou
apples
plainly
that
wearest
hung
thy
from his
heart on thy sleeve,
loins.
young man. 'Tis an endearing trait indeed.
I don't talk, dude.
Mine own line is one intimately entwined with that of the hero of legend. And according to the tales passed down among us, the hero who laid low the lord of the underworld was
Did you
also
sit right while you
guided
were
by a
away? No, I was
voice
actually really
heard
bad
in
about that.
dreams.
I was actually really terrible about that.
Majesty, please. It will not do to share the secrets of the royal line so freely.
Shut
Calm
up, Chancellor.
thyself. Though we lack for proof, I would place my faith in this youngster nonetheless. Better
Yeah, you give him
than
that
lose
refund.
all hope for the salvation of our benighted realm.
Yes, Majesty.
That's right.
Now, young hero, thou too wouldst know the truth of thy bloodline, wouldst thou not? Then
But thou
hie thee
must.
to the cave that doth bear thine ancestors' title, and to the Shrine of Rain.
Hey, you got it,
Return
boss.
to me with what thou findest there. This shall be thy
I'm
reward
ready.
for aiding my guardsmen. Go forth,
You got it,
brave
Mr.
hero,
King.
and may the goddess guide thee.
I speak in gesture and expressions, not words. I've absolutely faced this little fucker I just met 2 seconds ago. I like it cut, G. Bong! Oh, okay, they're just giving me all the items that are usually like in treasure chests behind the king. Oh, my controller is not working. Is this one of those games where if I unplug the controller in the middle of the game, it stops working? Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. I was so scared for a second. Opening the main menu's easy. Just give triangle a press. At any time during a conversation or immediately after it's ended, you can commit what you heard to memory by pressing the options button. Anything you've chosen to keep in mind can be revisited by selecting recall in the main menu. Oh, you know what I've just noticed? Unfortunately, the pixel art in this game does a really funny thing where his chin, if you look at it kind of funky, it actually looks like a big mustache. And he looks like a really old guy with a big mustache. Does anybody else see that? Does anybody else see that? It's like it's like a big bushy mustache. It's like it kind of like does this. This young boy. Thank you, my liege. It's a Mario. It's a me, Mario. Far be it for me to question His Majesty's wisdom in grasping the thread of hope, however slender when it presenteth itself. Pray, do as he asketh of thee. His Majesty that suffers much, not as he his hope is dashed with more. I think if I talk to him, he tells me about his daughter. Oh no, I think it's after the Shrine of Rain that he does it. Yeah. No, I think in the original he just tells you straight up. Because you're not supposed to come back here in the original. You just leave and never come back. Sorry, my meal is coming back up. When thou hast accrued sufficient funds, thou wouldst be well advised to purchase better weapons and armor. Thus armed, thou might contend with more powerful foes, and through besting them, grow still stronger. His Majesty is a man too trusting by half. To place his faith in one of whom he knoweth so little is inconceivable. Inconceivable! Speaking of Drift, which Dragon Quest protagonist has the best design? I am partial to 3, 5, and 8. I would say 8, but that's only because I'm biased in that I literally bought an outfit that's just the Dragon Quest 8 characters outfit. Like, I straight up just bought, like, a modern-day equivalent to that outfit. And it looks great. And my sister says I serve in it. Whatever that means. So, I'm gonna say 8. Although my next plan is to buy an outfit that is inspired by the Dragon Quest V protagonist's outfit. Either 5 or 7s. Whenever I have, like, more income, more disposable income. Alright, let's see if this game still does the thing. So it's very important, right? If one questeth in caves, have a care. It is in the places where the... Yeah. There's enemies in caves. I got you. What about you? When dark doth spread across the land, light shall return by Erdrick's hand. Almighty... Oh, is this guy gonna heal me? Okay, so he still does the same shit. Excellent. He still does the same thing. Can I look through pots now? Ooh. Yes. Oh, we have Chimera wings now, too. Princess Gwaelin mentioned, but not specifically told to me that she's gone. I'm looking right now what I'm... Jesus Christ. Right now I'm looking for... I'm talking to all the NPCs to see if they still give me hints about where to go and what to do. I don't know if the game has adjusted text so that they don't say that until after I come back from the tutorial dungeon. I ply the trade of the traveling merchant. Lo, countless of our brotherhood are fallen at the hands of roaming beasts of late. Full many friends have I lost. Merely to speak of them bringeth tears to mine eyes. I'm gonna cosplay 8's hero for one of these streams. I could put on the outfit. I gotta wash it, but I gotta do my laundry, but once it's washed, yeah, I'll wear it. I did want to replay 8. Didst thou hear the rumors? They speak of a town laid to ruin by marauding monsters. I must confess to being somewhat afraid. Don't worry, buddy. This place doesn't get its shit kicked in until the sequel. Ah, yes. What? What did you say? Don't worry about it, man. You got an item shop around here? I gotta buy some stuff. What the fuck? You're so fast. Yeah, I'm holding the run button. I'm holding the dash. No door may be opened without a key, and no door may be opened by simply any key. Different keys are required to unlock doors of different colors. Oh, does this still have consumable keys? Oh, dude, I'm gonna be so happy if it does. With that, I might pass all the rainy days of my life alone with my beloved, yet the knowledge that a monster might rob us of the joy weighs heavy on my heart. Okay. Our castle's always so big in RPGs. You know, to show off the fact that they can do it. You know, that was like the classic reason. It was like back in the day they wanted to be like, look at what we can do. So they made their like opening areas really big. You'll notice that like over time, the only areas that are truly like this large are the starting area and the last area, and then some dungeons. But everything in between usually is like a much smaller size, a much more modest girth, if you will. Fuck this hero shit. They need you on the track and field team. Oh look, some rats that are kind of like doubled up on each other. Oh right, this guy gives me an item for the end of the game. I think I need a better key. That looks like an ultimate key door. The red doors were magic doors. This looks like an ultimate key door. I wonder if the ultimate key's in this. It was not in the original. You just had magic keys and regular keys. Can talk to the cat 10 out of 10 always. Rat sex based. Now I thought we were against rat boyfriends. Or is that only when they're dating really hot chicks? Bandits now ply their wicked trade in the lands to the north, and led by a most despicable rogue named Reuben Odd, wasn't it? Was it Reuben Odd? Robin Hood. It's Robin Hood. They brought back Robin Hood, and they put him in the first game. Okay. I get it. He's still around? I guess he's like Robin Hood's descendant. Fuck, you're right. Fuck rats. I still need to sit down and play the series. I own 3, 5, and the 3DS versions of 7 and 8. What's good about 3 and 5, even especially the DS remake of 5, those are short games. You would think that they're very long because like people talk about them as grandiose adventures and like all this. They're actually fairly short games. My fastest playthrough of Dragon Quest IV is 24 hours, which is not a lot. It's not long. And 5 is a little bit longer, but not by much. The really long ones are 7 and 8, but the 3DS version of 7 is much shorter. Because they remove a lot of like the more hardcore puzzle elements from it, unfortunately, which is why I'm excited for Reimagined, because it looks like they're putting those back in. I am unfortunately a really bad. I am unfortunately like a really bad you shouldn't. I don't think you should. How do I say this? I am so far very hopeful of the 7 remake that's coming out in February. Which is actually not. I don't think that's actually like the popular opinion so far, or the popular expectation rather. Not to say that I'm like some kind of maverick or anything, but like just like I've noticed that a lot of people have voiced like their concerns over the. Oh, I need the magic key to go there. All right, let's get the hell out of here. I've noticed a lot of people have been voicing their concerns about Reimagined as a game, and I'm like, I actually think a lot of those changes make a lot of sense, and I do think they will overall improve the game by a lot. I did see people get angry about a lack of grinding options. Sorry, casino gambling options, not grinding. It's the other G word that I don't. That's a concept that I don't really mess with. a lot of the gambling stuff is they removed all the casino stuff from the 7 remake, and I'm like, well, you know, out of the blood under mighty Edric has that proof. Not now though, not really, not at the moment. Oh, it's telling me about the bridges still. Cool. I don't really see that as a problem. Number one, gambling laws in Japan are very different from what they used to be when 7 originally came out. But also, more importantly, I don't like the casino having some of the best armor and weapons in the game and locking that behind having to gamble. I think it's a waste of time, and I think there's more interesting ways to reward the player for doing things. So, like, I don't see it as a loss. I do think there was, like, one thing that I wish wasn't, like, removed. But 7 has a lot of chaff. 7 has a lot of chaff. And I know people are going to say, well, the chaff was part of the charm. But I think the chaff was part of the charm in a way that harmed my overall enjoyment of it. And I think I said that in the video. I think in the 7 video, I'm like, this is great, but it's also really long and like really overbearing, and like at some point you kind of want it to end, and like it's a lot of vignettes, and not all of those vignettes are very good, and some of them kind of contradict other things that they're building. Hey, Bat! Welcome! I actually haven't been streaming at all, so I think you were at the last one I did. But yeah, like I think I'm very hopeful for the remake. And obviously, like, to be clear, like, if the remake comes out and it's like, oh no, actually, this is actually kind of like lame, I'll be the first one there. You know me, I'm like, Dragon Quest is like my precious little baby, and I love it so much, and I absolutely adore it. But I also have like the world's biggest like hate boner for Dragon Quest VI. So, you know, I'm not without my ability to be like, nah, this isn't good. So, but I do think I will. I have pretty reasonable suspicions that I will like Reimagined a lot, because I think it's going to solve a lot of my problems with the original 7. I'm excited for the Dragon Quest 7 reimagining. It looks really good. I am debating whether I've experienced all versions, but I also understand that the game is long. I think the presentation of 7 is fantastic and appealing. As old stop motion Christmas movies. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think the original 7 is still a great game. You know, even with the parts that I don't like about it, 7 is like phenomenal. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna be here and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the original 7 is bad. It's not. But it is long, and like it does have its weaker moments. And I don't think those moments honestly added a lot. I think a lot of those moments were like distracting to the better told elements. And I also think that Yuji Horii used Dragon Quest VII to like play around with his writing, because like he basically, my headcanon, Dowser the Great, no I don't, it lied deep within a cave north of here, a cave named Erdrick's Hollow. Oh, they changed the name of the cave, or rather they relocalized it. Okay, I like Erdrick's Hollow. That's a nice name, actually. I like that. What was I saying before I distracted myself? God damn it. My stupid brain. 7. Oh, yeah. So my headcanon is that Yuji Horii. So Yuji Horii, right? He writes Chrono Trigger. Here's the timeline, right? He writes Dragon Quest V. Largely considered one of the best Dragon Quests to ever exist. And also on record as being Yuji Horii's favorite Dragon Quest. He goes from writing Dragon Quest V to writing Chrono Trigger. one of the greatest RPGs to have. I mean, you know what Chrono Trigger is. I know what Chrono Trigger is. I think it is good that you don't have a filter. It makes discussions with you engaging. Thank you. I do put my foot in my mouth a lot, but my my personal belief is that it is better to put your foot in your mouth 50 times than it is to never open your mouth at all. I've seen plenty of content creators and famous personalities say some really heinous things and get away with it scot-free. And not for nothing, but I think the worst things I've ever said don't come close. So I'm pretty comfortable. At least right now, I'm pretty comfortable. But yeah, Right's one of the greatest RPGs ever to exist. One of the best RPG narratives. People love it. People literally get mad at you when you don't play Chrono Trigger. I still haven't played Chrono Trigger. And then he uses the leftover script ideas from Chrono Trigger to write Dragon Quest VI. And I don't fucking like it. And I'm going to pretend that nobody else does either. And then he goes, well, fuck. What do I do now? I've just made two of the great... Thank you, DVD. This is actually a callback. No, I haven't played Chrono Trigger. And Yuji Horii goes, well, I've just finished writing two of the greatest RPGs to have ever exist. And the third one I wrote, right after that, kind of a flop. So I think for Dragon Quest VII, part of the reason 7 is so big, part of the reason 7 is so ambitious, is that Yuji Horii realizes in this moment of his career that he is kind of like at an impasse on what to do next. He does it like, I think he literally is like, how do I, like, what do I write now? Like, what do you do when you write something that is so... You can claim various bonuses if you pre-order the game or bought it from certain shops. Gross. You know, what do I do now? What do I do now? Like, how do I write my next story? The one I just finished writing wasn't as good. And I think he knows that. I'm willing to bet Yuji Horii can look at Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest V, Chrono Trigger to Dragon Quest VI and go, no, yeah, like obviously 6 is much weaker. So like he's sort of like at an impasse. It's like, how do I top that? What do I do? So with Dragon Quest VII, because he's Yuji fucking Horii and he's still riding high off of Chrono Trigger success, right? They're letting him do whatever the fuck he wants. And I'm sure Dragon Quest VI did well anyway. Like, I think in hindsight, it's a lot worse, but I think Yuji Horii has some awareness to know that that was, like, one of his weaker stories being told. Personally, I would be shocked if he doesn't have at least a little bit of that sensation. Also, hey, Benjabooty. I also think the art direction looks pretty good for 7. So he uses 7 as, like, a workshop. And that's what I mean when I say Dragon Quest VII is a writer's workshop. Dragon Quest VII is a workshop to figure out... Oh, I have a map now? Sorry. Dragon Quest VII is a writer's workshop. And you'll note, if you play Dragon Quest VII, every vignette is kind of like a different story. And he is playing around with... He's trying to figure out... Oh, I have abilities. What does Cop Out do?
Much better.
Oh, hell yeah. Can I speed this up, though? I need to speed up battles. This is too slow. They're already running away from me? I don't know about that. But he uses it as a writer's workshop. Every vignette is very different. They explore very different things. And then he has this overarching plot, but if you notice, the structure of Dragon Quest VII is deliberately fragmented stories. So... previously, leading up to Dragon Quest VII, no other Dragon Quest had been written that way. you had vignettes, but they were all sort of part of the same tapestry. Like you have a much more like you have like this much stronger overarching plot that's driving every action in the game. Dragon Quest IV plays with like different character perspectives and stuff like that, but Dragon Quest VII follows the same characters through multiple areas, and they're all very different stories. They kind of like breach different genres, right? I gotta speed up battle speeds. Ultra fast is fine. Suggested actions. Not me, my friend. So everything. Quest help text, I guess, is fine. I don't know what that is. So I'll just invincibility can be turned on. Jesus. Running. Toggle. Thank you. So he's using it as a way to experiment with his writing and figure out like what does he want to do with the next story. And you'll notice that certain plots that were cut from Reimagined, which was only about 3 islands, one of those plots was literally reused in Dragon Quest IX, and it's the World Tree plot. And I know people will say, well, the World Tree is like an important part of Dragon Quest. Not really. Like the World Tree is there, but it doesn't really play like a major role in a lot of the stories. It kind of just is like a component of a lot of the worlds. It isn't until Dragon Quest IX, I think 4 you go to the World Tree, but it's not really like the focal point. Xenoblade 2 though, yeah. I mean, a lot of RPGs, that's another thing. A lot of RPGs use the World Tree concept. Like Dragon Quest, I think Dragon Quest might have, I don't even know if Dragon Quest was the first to do that. If it was the first, it wasn't the last. But yeah, like you take the vignette, he took that vignette and he expanded on it for Dragon Quest IX. So like, you literally, when you play the original Dragon Quest VII, you are literally playing Yuji Horii collection of short stories that he later, well, I mean, you know, I'd have to do more like evidence. I'd have to provide more evidence for it because I only have that one example. But like, it is very clearly him trying to work out how he wants to go about telling future Dragon Quest stories. And yeah, and like that was his playground. So there's a lot of ideas that are a little scattered sometimes, like the island in Dragon Quest VII that talks about the goddess statue. That literally exists in a vacuum in that story. Like the goddess never comes back into play in Dragon Quest VII. You could argue that perhaps that vignette is more about like people not being allowed to practice different faiths and stuff. But Dragon Quest VII really isn't about that. Dragon Quest VII like is about a false idol, but it's not actually about like religious persecution. It's a little bit more like broader fantasy oriented. Like it doesn't really have those themes. By the way, this is kind of easy. I take it back. Please die. I don't want to die while talking to people. So like it's just like for Yuji Horii, it's 7. A lot of 7 stories are just him figuring stuff out. Do I heal when I level up? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm told the game gets really hard later on. So I'm holding my opinions until later because I gotta get a better idea what the balance is like. But healing after level up is like, damn. I hope they flesh out the whole hero backstory for 7 Reimagined. There's a couple things that I want them to keep subtle, but knowing the way these remakes go, they're gonna make it more obvious because usually remakes. This is not a knock against remakes. It's not a knock against remakes, but usually remakes retell the story for dum-dums. And what I mean by that is a lot of the subtlety in original stories, when they get remade, a lot of that subtlety gets pushed to a lot of the background stuff, the subtext gets pushed to the surface because it's basically in the head of the people doing it. It's like, this is the second time they're gonna hear the story. If they didn't get it the first time, someone's gonna have to fucking tell them. You know, it's also more of like the modern video game writing scene is a lot like that too. And it's just, it is an unfortunate reality of like modern video game writing, and I could go on and on about modern video game writing because I'm such a stickler for that stuff. No shade to like video game writers. Like, I'm not saying you're bad at your job. I know video game writing is not like a one and done, simple task to begin with, but man, it's really frustrating the way those stories get like, in a very generous way of putting it, because I don't know for sure, the way those stories get mangled, and the way they're forced to be changed, and like the things you have to like shoehorn in for the sake of gameplay stuff, things just turn out like shit. The most probably Dragon Quest 1.5. Or Timon and Pumbaa. Follow along the legendary hero's journey. Fuck. I would love a Dragon Quest 1.5. I would love a Dragon Quest story that's not about the heroes. That's why I like Dragon Quest Builders too. I just find it interesting if there was more there. Even just a few more moments where it meant something. Yeah. Hold on, I have a... Sims protagonist is the youngest, right? Is there a reason for that? I know 5 starts the protagonist off as a child, but he later becomes a teen and then an adult. I think 5 has the youngest hero to start. Like, you start at your youngest in 5. 7 is the most consistently younger. The problem with 7 is that there is a passage of time. Your hero does get older, you just don't see that reflected in the model. So there's an implication that you've grown older at the end of 7, but you don't see it like you do in 5. Because it's not as important. Like, the actual visual distinction isn't as necessary for certain parts of the story. Like in 5, your character needs to look older because your character eventually has fucking children, right? It's like, yeah, okay, he needs to... Why are they giving me clothing if they already started with leather armor? What are they doing? What are you doing? Am I gonna have party members? Anyway. But yeah. As far as like the more subtextual stuff about the hero backstory in 7, I hope they keep the important one subtle. Ooh, there's like an item over there. Don't you want to roleplay taking it easy in town? A little bit. That is the one thing that I'm sad about. Thank you for reminding me. I think the big thing that I'm sad about not coming back in the remake of 7 is the town building game. Because I like town building in RPGs, and I think it's a very fun mini game. And I think 7's was the most like ambitious one. But like, I would have preferred if they had taken it and expanded on it and made it a little bit more interesting. But they didn't do that. So that's unfortunate. I've seen miss things when stories are telling you something that isn't even subtext, it's just text. I've seen people miss stuff that are basically the equivalent of a sledgehammer that has the words of the point etched on it. Yeah, but like, I guess there's a balance. There's if what you're doing is already like, I don't think you should ever sacrifice your artistic vision to beat your audience over the head with meaning. But I also think that if you are in a situation, welcome to our inn. I don't want to stay in no room. I heal on level up. I don't need no fucking inn. West of Kol stand at the tower known as the Shrine of Rain. Who built it and with what purpose in mind I know not, but 'tis said that it hath stood since time of Erdrick, hero of legend. Yeah, like I don't think you should sacrifice your artistic vision But like when you're retelling a story, I think if in a story people miss the point, you should drill that home a little bit stronger if you're redoing the story. But that's mostly but that's only like that's only from the perspective of if people are co-opting your story to say the opposite of what your story is saying or what you want your story to say, then I think there is some sort of like benefit to you being more obvious. With the Dragon Quest VII stuff, I think it's really cool that it's a background element that a lot of people like miss completely. A lot of people don't even know. A lot of people straight up don't know that it's there. And I like that because it's not really a detail that's like super important, but if you pick up on it, you're like, oh, that's actually like it adds additional layers to the story without completely overtaking the story as like a thing. How do I have, oh no, I'm carrying a leather suit. Okay, I thought I had both equipped. Oh, the fact that they have stuff on the map even means that you're not even, there's like no reason to grind in this game anymore. You don't need to grind, you just need to go exploring. Hell yes. Don't necessarily debase your story to cater to the lowest common denominator. People reason to understand that stories have a person, but running can sometimes be stronger. Yeah, you know, like that's how I feel. Where I'm like, and that's how I feel about the remake of 7. I'm like, I don't think they're going to like completely rewrite it to ruin a bunch of stuff, which I think is a fear a lot of people have. But like, I'm not one of those people that I'm not necessarily looking back at Dragon Quest VII and going, no, it's good because it was flawed in that way. And I'm like, it's good because of its flaws in certain ways, but like the problems I had with the original 7 are still like issues that I would fundamentally take with the remake as well, is the thing, right? Like there's things about 7 that I don't like that, you know, are part of its identity. For instance, the haphazard way in which it like discards party members, I feel is integral to that story. The way party members come in and out of your party, like the way those you lose and gain those characters, I feel is very important to the story. Stuff like that, like the past present mechanics and like the way the storyline sort of bump through whatever. The puzzles I feel super important to their identity, you know, and not all of those puzzles are great. Some of those puzzles suck, but I like that they're there. So like, if you improve the puzzles, you still have the identity of Dragon Quest VII, right? You just have better puzzles. But like at its core, it's not that the puzzles were bad, it's that they were experimental. If you keep the nature of those puzzles and just improve on their original like designs, now with like better knowledge, and you just sort of continue down that experimental path that, by the way, Dragon Quest never went back to. Not really. You know, that's cool, and that still maintains the identity of the series, and it's not necessarily, the identity of the series is not necessarily a result of like the flaws of those puzzles. It's of the ambition behind those puzzles. And I think that's where I'm at, where I disagree with a lot of people, where it's like, I don't think the things I don't like about Dragon Quest VII are inherently part of the experience of Dragon Quest VII. I think the ideas behind the things I don't like about Dragon Quest VII is the identity of Dragon Quest VII. I think them improving on those ideas is a good thing. So with the big experimental writing and like all the different vignettes and figuring out what to do, really cool. You keep most of it, but you get rid of the stuff that is very clearly reused in later Dragon Quests, and the story's mostly the same because the stuff that's later used in other Dragon Quests doesn't really add to the story that much. Gambling, I like, not that integral. Iconic, yes, but like, can you play a Dragon Quest game without gambling? Absolutely. Some people don't even interact with that shit. If I wasn't doing videos on them, I would, if it wasn't for the bit of like, I win the jackpot and then I put it in the video to be like, hey, you know, I wouldn't do it. You know, and I think there's better ways to reward the player and whatnot. Oh, fuck, I do have party members. You know, like, it's not... You have to separate that from that. You have to separate, like, the identity of something from, like, the things that get in the way of why that thing is so good. And, like, sometimes mistakes are really important to those games, like Street Fighter, right? Like the whole reason combos exist is because there was an unintentional thing in the original Street Fighter. Okay, but like if you were to remake Street Fighter, which is basically Street Fighter 2, you expand on that idea. You make that part of, you don't make that another haphazard coincidence. And that's why Street Fighter 2 is like one of the most fucking beloved games of all time. like it's not about the fact that it's not about maintaining it the way it was necessarily when you're remaking something. It's about, yeah, it is true. Street Fighter 1 is still very, very good. But it's no Third Strike. But like, it's not necessarily about like retaining it all of it, warts and all. It's about understanding which warts are actually just beauty marks and which warts are actually just warts. You know? And to be fair, people don't get that right all the time. I'll totally agree with that. Like, sometimes people fuck that up real bad. Sometimes people mess that shit up. Sometimes people remake something. Sometimes they'll remake something and it's like, it's not even close to what it used to be, and like the identity isn't there, and it's like, this is not what I wanted, right? So I'm not saying that it's like, oh, this is always going to work out, but I'm saying like, you gotta be able, I think that the problem lies in understanding what faults something has are faults, and what problems something has are like actual like problems that get in the way of like what the thing is trying to do, and also like whether or not, you know, that's like whatever. Go see Yooka Replayly as like a great example of like a game taking its original ideas and fixing them, you know, where Yooka-Laylee is like a 7 out of 10 game, 6 out of 10 game, where a lot of the platforming is pretty rough, a lot of the level exploration is pretty rough, the levels are underutilized. The story is kind of like, everything's kind of like just thrown together, or feels thrown together rather. And then Yooka Replayly, like, is so much head and shoulders above in terms of like actual collectathon pathing, actual use of the worlds. The pacing's a lot better. The story, like the framing of everything you're doing is a lot better, etc., etc. Like, that's a great example of what I'm talking about. Of like, you cannot play Yooka Replayly and go, oh, it's lost the spirit of the original, because the original, first of all, it has the spirit of the original, and the original suffered greatly from like a lot of really bad decisions. And like, granted, Dragon Quest VII original is not a Yooka-Laylee situation, but like, it could have still been better in certain ways, and all the changes they're making in the remake seem to be very, very conservative decisions. Very I don't want to do too much. I'm shaving off a lot. I'm shaving stuff off, and people think it's a lot because they're looking at the list and like, holy shit, that's a lot. No, that game is like 200 hours long and has like so much stuff in it. So like, the concept of like shaving some things off of Dragon Quest VII, like if I'm shaving a little bit off, I'm still like cutting off like half a like, you know, like 5% of Dragon Quest VII on a list is huge. So like, you got to keep that into perspective. Thou art a warrior, it seemeth. Seekest thou too the grave of the hero of legend? I love that he's called would-be hero. Just as I thought, when once again the veins appear to hero's tomb retire, therein the hero's power for thine own self to acquire. I don't like that rhyme. Thou wert led here by the old adage, wert thou not? Wert? As were we. I was more forgiving of its blow because I was like 8 or 9. I played Dragon Quest VII for the first time when I was in my 20s, and it nearly killed my channel. Dragon Quest 7 was so big that I almost didn't make the video. I almost stopped making videos because I got too burnt out by it. And if you go look at like the schedule uploads, if you go look at like the time frame, the timeline of uploads after the Dragon Quest 7 video, I slowed down tremendously because that video burnt me. That game burnt me the fuck out. Even though I really liked it. Which maketh us rivals. This being so, allow me to proffer a piece of advice. Why are we competing? The world's gonna end. Look out behind thee! No way. Quickly! We must not allow him to reach the grave before us! Must we really resort to such underhanded means? How else is our esteemed rival to learn that a true hero must learn to see through such simple ruses? Come! They're like a Dragon Quest 3 party. That's cute. I like that. I was there waiting for it. I remember. Enchanted parchment adorned with wisdom allow the readers. Oh, a scroll. You can only read them once to learn new spells and abilities. Why do I get the feeling this is a tutorial that's teaching me how scrolls work because it's going to become relevant in the second game? Because in the first game, I'm just going to use it on myself, right? But in the second game, I'm going to have party members. I think that's what it is. They're just giving me the tutorials now because I'm playing this one now. I bet if I play the second game, I bet when I play the second game, I'm not going to get any tutorial messages. It's a leather shield. I have so many. I am of the opinion that if something can be cut and nothing of value is lost, then go ahead and cut it. There's such a thing as too much, and sometimes moderation is key. You got to balance it. It's very difficult. Most style guides in writing, for example, will tell you to cut needless words. But good writers know when to break the rules of style to do something effective. So like it's very good beginner to intermediate level, even advanced writing advice to cut needless words or unnecessary things. But truly masterful writers eventually learn that sometimes you need needless words. Needless words. Sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want fluff. Fluff can be good. Filler can be good. Am I gonna learn Sandstorm? Ooh, I like that. Oh. One learns Sandstorm. Well, I called them one, so you know I gotta call the next guy two. Spells. It's not a spell, it's an ability. Conjures a sandstorm which reduces an enemy group's accuracy. That can be useful when I'm swarmed. Let's see how, like, reliable. How it's only a group, it's not all. It's kind of sucky. Okay. Well, they missed, but I think I'm just over-leveled now. You can purple prose or reveal without it being extraneous. Yes. There's a balance. There's a balance, and you gotta be careful for it. You gotta be careful with it. I do think, for the most part, yes. Less is more. For the most part, less is more. But, you know, you gotta play with the rules. You gotta bend the rules sometimes to do interesting things. But again, you have to be very confident in what you're doing. And like, it's not good advice to give a writer who's learning. You don't want to. It's cutting needless words is just good advice for a student writer, or a writer who's like still in the process of like finding their own like style or prose or rhetoric or whatever you're using to write your shit, whatever you're writing. And like once you've got like a really good like grasp on being being like reasonably efficient, then you can start like adding stuff back in. Because I know people that write. I've looked at like I've been going to the bookstore a lot, and I've been like opening like random books and like looking through pages. And I've like read books where it's like within like the first 20 pages, you've got the writer is like using 6 adjectives to describe a single noun. And it's like, I like the rotting, blood-curling, fetid, stinking, infected sponge. And it's like that the whole fucking time. And it's like, I am exhausted reading your work. You know? The Black Tongue Thief is an example of that. What's that? Is that a fantasy thing? You gonna do post-game dungeons if there's one in this? Yes. I am. I'm gonna try to do everything in every game, in each game. I did that for the third game. For 3 Remake, I did everything. I am missing like one achievement in the remake for 3. I missed beating the final post-game boss in the maximum amount of turns for the achievement by 1 turn. And then they patched the game to make it harder to do. So what I think I might do is look up a build for it and just try to beat it that way, but I don't know. Can't help but notice your menu says heal all. Yeah. Am I gonna have like monster buddies? I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of want my guy to just be by himself. Although it might just say heal all because it's a holdover from the third game and the second game. Like they might have just left it in there because it's easier to just leave it as is. Quickly and easily restore yourself to full health. Yeah, like the description's not giving something away. What's the matter? You scared, baby? Little baby boy, little baby boy. It's asleep. I'm not a bad slime. I just like this midday snooze now and again. Oh, are you asleep again? Do you say something new? Oh, no. Okay. Damn it. I thought it was going to, like, join me. Mini medals! See, this is new. I don't think they had mini medals in the original. I don't think they had mini medals in the Game Boy port of the first one. Did they? No, I don't think they did. For some reason, my brain's like they had it in the Super Famicom version, but I played this because I played the Super Famicom version as well. I don't think so. I played all. I am now officially have played almost every version of Dragon Quest 1. I don't think I've played the mobile version, though the Switch port is based off the mobile version, so maybe that counts. I played the Switch version, the Super Famicom version, and the original NES version of Dragon Quest 1 for my Revisiting Dragon Quest video. That was pretty cool. The Super Famicom version's great, by the way. I love that version. Video game writing is different, but it's probably the closest relative to novel writing. Do you think that's a weird take? No. I actually think video games have more... I think video game writing has more in common with novel writing. And I actually think the way we tell stories in video games are closer to the way we tell or should be closer to the way we tell stories in books. It's complicated because you should have, because some of the writing of your video game gets used. I am Erdrick. Hold on. Hear me well, bearer of my blood, heir to my destiny. If you would reach the evil island visible from Tantagel's shore, you will require that. How does he know about the evil island? Oh, Zoma. That's right. Never mind. Gather them, and you may head across to that accursed isle and destroy the source of all evil, as I did. As I too did so long ago. Before my passing, I entrusted the 3 objects to the 3 great sages. If the fates have been kind, the descendants guard them still. Anyway. Oh shit. When evil rules the Ilstar Isle, once more gather the hallowed triad and strike a blow for the cause of light. No doubt those of the line of the sages await you somewhere in this world. Seek them out. The journey before you is perilous one indeed. To that end, I write my greatest secret. Really? Are they gonna fight me for it? I already forgot what I was talking about. Oh, you have to write your voiced pre-rendered cutscenes like screenplays, like scenes out of a screenplay. But a lot of your game is probably should be written more like a novel. That's how I feel. It's weird. You should, in my head, you write a video game like you would a novel, and then you have to adapt that to a screenplay, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's actually how I feel about video game writing. I think stronger video game writing takes a more novelist approach than a filmmaker's approach. I think most video game... In fact, I think some of the worst video game writing is because somebody took a filmmaker's approach to video game writing. And I think some of the best video game writing is because somebody took a novelist approach to video game writing. I think Disco Elysium is a really good example of someone taking a novelist approach, because I think it's an adaptation, obviously, but like it's a novelist approach to video game writing, and I think that is way better. And then like stuff that's like trying to be a movie just always falls flat for me. Though the darkness grows strong, the light is ever stronger. Take courage in it and go forth. For this is the hero's greatest power, unwavering courage in the face of seemingly insurmountable hardship. And then these people are going to be like, wow, we suck. We're not even like worthy of this. Courage, that is all it saith? Come, there must be more. The location of a mighty sword, or the secret of a legendary magic. Nah, dog. You gotta raw dog this shit. This is Dragon Quest 1. Take your baby ass back to Dragon Quest 3. Disco Elysium is an adaptation? Yes. What enabled us to prevail this far, if not courage? Well, courage and just a little underhandedness. Oh, his hair was like blowing in the wind. In our desperation for the hero's power, we did not comport ourselves as we perhaps should have done. Please understand, 'tis the desire for vengeance that driveth us so. Our village was the fiends attacked, and precious little now remaineth. Oh, they're from the village with the mech guy, the axe guy. It is as I feared. 'Tis not the place of the likes of us to claim the might of heroes. Come, let us return home. But if the fiends are not stopped, their evil will engulf the world. Surely someone must stand against them as mighty Eldrick one did. They all turn to the camera. The book is in the same world, but it takes place decades after the game. Ah, okay. How do I feel about Metal Gear Solid's writing? It was better when Kojima had a co-writer. Kojima is really good at ideas and having this really surrealist vision. He is much better when a co-writer like elevates his ideas and his like I'm not gonna say rough, because he's clearly part of like the refinement process, or he was. I just think Kojima is better when you have an editor. Every writer is better when you have an editor, and that's basically what a co-writer ends up becoming for someone who is considered an auteur like Kojima. So I think the MGS stories that have a co-writer on them are much better. Yeah. Blood, my beloved children, seek out the sphere of light, by whose power the darkness might be banished and the fiends repelled. I entrust to the care of the king of Tangel. Join forces with the member of his line now sits upon the throne, and see that its blessing is brought to bear. For if it is lost, the world will be plunged in darkness with treasure forever. Sorry if I'm like, I might like start breathing heavy because I'm just like, my throat hurts because I'm sick. But I'm gonna power through it because I promised y'all a stream, and that was before I felt myself getting sick. But like, I'm not selling out. Okay, not selling out. What is it? I'm not flaking. I forget what the word for it is. I guess it is a sellout. Hydrate. Yeah, you're right. Do I have evac? I don't. They didn't give me evac. Interesting. Does this get me out? I don't want to use it and then hit my... Oh, I have 5. We can figure it out. We'll find out. Yep, I can Chimera Wing out of dungeons. Good to know. Grabs more fun in the street you've already had 2 hours of. You need to bug out, I'm sure everyone will understand. No. I also want to play the game. I also want to play the game. I'll go until like midnight or like 1 a.m. or something. I don't know. Let me save my game. Faithful servant of the goddess, how might our church assist thee? Confess to me all that thou hast wrought, child, that I might record thy deeds in an adventure log. Into which log would thou have me record thy deeds? The first one, really? You're not gonna rotate your saves? It feels a little irresponsible. Ah, yes, good, good. Put it in the second slot, yes. If your throw gets too bad, switch to semaphore. What does that mean? What that mean? I don't know what semaphore means. I legit don't know what semaphore means. It's not like when you talk like more with like your throat, like your more guttural, or is that like communication from a distance using flags in the position of your arms? Oh, okay. You mean just start waving my hands wildly while people guess what I'm saying? Treasure the great royal line that has stolen my fiends. Hey, kitty cat, you talk? No, there's got to be one cat that speaks the common tongue. You got honey? I do. I'm not too worried, honestly. My throat hasn't gotten worse, which is good. It hasn't gotten worse than what it already, where it already was to begin with. So hopefully I just have a very minor cold, nothing serious. I either got it from my uncle, who was sick and distancing himself from everyone, and then saw me and said, "Not you though. I don't care if I get you sick." He said it in a very joking manner, but he was sick. He did have a cold. And he did, in fact, breach my personal space. And he meant what he said. He did not care if he got me sick. Bastard. Or was my niece, who's been sick all weekend, unfortunately. Nothing serious. She's fine. She has like a baby cold, you know, like she's like just coughing and whatever. She doesn't even like, she barely even registers that she's sick. Far be it from me to question His Majesty's wisdom, grasping the thread of hope, however slender when it presenteth itself. Oh, that's right. He already. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Oh, I gotta go visit the Shrine of Rain. Oops. I have wasted time. And therefore I have wasted yours. I'm very sorry. The allure of Teofeo. I'm not gonna lie. People were very impressed with me at that wedding. I'm just saying, a lot of my sister's friends, they liked me. A lot of them were like, damn, your brother can dance. Even my sister at the end of the night, she was like, what the hell? My sister was like, since when could you dance? I was like, since fucking forever? Excuse you? We come from the same fucking family? We both learned how to fucking dance? Where's the Shrine of Rain? This is the Wayfarer Shrine. That's a town. It's on the same continent, so we should probably go there. I'm gonna try to play this the same way I played the original. I'm just gonna do guesswork. Keep up the honey tea. You're not out of the woods. Honey tea's never... none of that stuff's ever helped. I'm the kind of guy that gets sick and then, like... I take cold medicine and Tylenol. I enter a fugue state and then I come out of it. Like, I'll take a nap and then I'll wake up in, like, an explosion of sweat and I'll be fine. Thankfully, I haven't been sick since almost a year ago, and I'm getting sick in November, which means I might not be sick in January. You do realize you have to show us your dancing skills at some point now, right? I know. There's a video of me on Blue Sky dancing, but I'm dancing with myself. So like you can't really tell that I'm like fucking it up, you know? But like I can dance. I don't usually toot my own horn this hard, but I can fucking dance, okay? I cut a mean rug. It was fun. It was fun. We danced like I danced the whole night. I never stopped. I was red as a tomato, and I was like, people were like literally like coming up to me to like compliment my dancing, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're like radiating heat." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm hot." It was wild. I also didn't drink much at the wedding, which I'm very happy about. I didn't drink a lot. I wasn't planning on like not drinking. Like I don't have like a weird thing about drinking. Quite the contrary. But I just ended up not having a lot of drinks because I was like having more fun dancing, and also I was like sweating my ass off because the banquet hall was a little warm, to be honest. A little warmer than I think it should have been. But yeah, it was so much fun. So much fun. Very good wedding. I hope my sister is very happy with how that turned out, because I think a lot of people are gonna remember that one for quite a while. I'm more of a singer and actor than dancer. I'm a triple threat, baby. I'm a triple threat, baby. I can sing, I can act, I can dance. I got the whole thing. I'm the complete package. I just haven't had the opportunity to seriously act yet. I want to, man. I want to voice act in something so bad. I want to do voice acting so bad, y'all. I want to even if it's just like a bit role. Even if it's just like a bit role, I would love to do a bit role in something. Like, ideally, yeah, a bit role that, like, I do well enough that people remember and are like, oh, hey, we should get that guy to do more stuff. But, like, you know, even if that never happens, it's like, ah, oh, man, just one thing. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a TV show. It don't gotta be no movie. It could be someone's, like, animation. I don't care. I would love to voice something in some kind of like more creative like capacity, more acting capacity. I mean, they say there's a thing that people say sometimes where it's like, hey, if you do YouTube videos, if you do scripted content on YouTube, and you like, even if you're a video essayist, you're still an actor. You're a voice actor. You have to say those lines in a way that's like engaging and entertaining, and you know, the good video essayists are like the ones that stand out more. The ones that stand out more, you know, they have a character. They assume a character in their videos, right? Like, regardless of, like, what they've done in the past and stuff like that. Like, you just look back at, like, the Cinnabon V, thank you for... Cinnabon 6. Thank you for following me. I'm gonna call you Cinnabon 6, because that's fun. Like, obviously a lot of, like... people that did videos back in like the 2000s, 2010s era, like a lot of them turned out to not be great people, but like they were popular for a reason, and like the reason they were popular isn't because they had like great opinions on things. It's because they were playing characters, right? They were playing characters. H-Bomb is a great example of a modern one. Like H-Bomber guy is playing a character, right? And like so if you're a video essayist and you're trying to sort of like have a certain tone or mood or just attitude in your videos, and you're trying to be consistent, that's voice acting. It's not what do you call it? Fiction acting, or what? There's like a specific term that I'm just not remembering. but it is voice acting. So like a lot of people say that, and like, so like technically I have done a lot of voice acting, but I would love to play a character in a piece of fiction, in a work of fiction. H Bomber Guy hasn't uploaded in 15 years. I know. I like his videos. Sometimes I don't agree with his stuff. I think he's wrong about Dark Souls 2. I think he's wrong about Dark Souls 2. But he's very funny. He's very funny. And like most of his videos, I think a lot of, like, all of his videos are really good. I don't think he has a stinker in the bunch. I think even the Dark Souls 2 video is good. You know, I just love being like, ah, fuck. He's like, I would never. He's braver than any U.S. Marine for saying that shit about Dark Souls 2. Tell you what. Adobe video next. Yes. Hi GC, hope you're having a good night. Was looking forward to your first impressions on Dragon Quest 1 2. I'm loving the music. Great Dragon Quest music as always. Yeah, it's the tried and true Dragon Quest 1 soundtrack. It's kind of like I mean, you probably know how I feel about Koichi Sugiyama, but it is slightly nice to sort of actually be able to separate the art from the artist now, considering the artist is no longer part of the corporeal world. I do want them to get a new musician, a new composer for the series, and I would love to hear some new arrangements by that composer at some point in the future. He just was on the comments of video covering the same topic. Love it. I really do for the ambience, but man, that game drags. I agree. I actually do agree. I don't like Dark Souls 2. But I will agree that I think Dark Souls 2 has amazing, immaculate vibes. I think that is a vibes-coded game in the best way. We all love Majula. Yes. Majula good. But we also love tight gameplay, yeah. Conceptually, Dark Souls 2, incredible. Practically, insufferable. Obviously, you can disagree if you want. You know, I'm not gonna hold it against you. I don't care, you know. It's just fun. It's fun to rag on each other for video game opinions sometimes, especially if you do it in a nice way, like how I'm doing it now, where it's like I'm not fucking. I mean, it's very easy for me to give myself credit, considering I'm the one fucking talking. But you know, I think as long as you're kind of like, as long as you're very clearly saying it in a way where it's like I don't actually care what this person's rather. Not that you don't care what this person's opinion is, but like you're fine with people having opinions that aren't yours. Like I think it's okay for you to be like, man, you're so fucking wrong about this. Like, you know, just like in a very like casual way, you can say stuff like that. You just got to be careful who to say it to and when. I'll also, it's only 2 points of defense. That's not worth it. Actually, I think I over optimized. I don't think the bronze shield and the chainmail was a good choice. No, because that was like 7 points. That was like, it was like 12 points and then 7 points. That's 20 points of defense. That's fine. That's what worth it. Oh, big chat. Big chat message. I haven't got the Dark Souls 1 yet, so I can't say my opinion on 2 very well. That's okay. When you get to it, you'll understand what people are saying. It's very like, this feels, this like spiritually is very fulfilling. Like, I feel like I should love this game a lot, and then you go fight a boss that's like designed very poorly, and you're like, fuck, if this wasn't a Dark Souls game, this would be fucking incredible. I recently did a community theater production of The Crucible where I was Deputy Governor Danforth, and that role was the hardest role I've ever played. Only in Act 2, and he has 222 lines and so many monologues. Theater acting will really test your abilities as an actor, but it is a lot of fun. If you want to do more acting stuff, community theaters are always looking for more people, especially men. I'll look into it, actually. I think I'm moving in a couple months, and I think I'm moving to an area that might have like a decent theater scene. I used to live in Miami, which had a great theater scene. At least last time I checked. I don't know how they're doing now, but Miami has a great theater scene, and I should have gotten more into that. Just finished Dragon Quest 3 HD remake 30 minutes ago. Yeah. As someone who's never watched an episode of RWBY, I constantly think of H-Mom's video on it. Whenever you cats bring up the issue of current day media only being surface level influenced by media of the same medium. Yeah. I'm the first one to rag on me. We're having other consoles, but it's just lighthearted ribbing. Yeah, you know, as long as you're not seriously believing that stuff or like, you know, being like weird about it, you can pretty much say whatever you want. And obviously don't go to random people on the internet and try to like engage in like ribbing. Unless they have opened themselves up to ribbing, you know. Sorry, I got distracted and we... Oh, a bookshelf. Safe passage? The scroll that ruins your leveling? Now, why would you want that ability? Give it to me anyway. Scroll. One learns safe passage. Float unharmed over hazardous surface. Oh, I thought it was the one that removed encounters. Really? This early? Safe passage this early? I guess it's kind of like fine because it's locked behind a... I guess it's fine because most of the harmful passages are also locked behind doors. Oh, he's telling me the princess was kidnapped. The princess was taken to the east. You got it. Now I know where to go. In this world exists miraculous writings that the one do no more than read them. It's literally a tutorial about scrolls. Found in the last resting place of Galen himself, though I would not see them already. That place formed with bloodthirsty fiends. Okay, now I gotta find where Galen's last resting place. You got slime earrings? Now that's a good defense boost. It is a little expensive though. I don't know if we can afford it. I could sell my magic water. I'm not really using it at the moment. And that would be enough. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, man. Put it in the bag. So that's luck. This is defense. This is also defense. This is the same shit. I'd rather be more consistent than lucky. I'm already pretty lucky by nature, so I'm not really worried about needing to be lucky like this. I don't need to be in-game lucky. What the hell is that? Okay, that was just to talk to him. Hey, you guys know where Galen's resting place is? You see where Galen's resting place is? Galen's resting place? They may have the end of fair Damdara in the south. Kind and he was a bride. I wonder if he prospereth still. No, I think Damdara's all fucked up, man. I think they got fucking God, dude. I hear the mayor invested entirely into crypto and the fucking town's economy tanked. And they all had to leave. Let's see. I don't want to cross the bridge because I don't think that's where I think the Shrine of Rain is like literally like right here. I think I might have just walked too far because I'm pretty sure, isn't the Shrine of Rain where the Rainbow Bridge forms from? Am I crazy? No, the bridge connects from that right side. I am crazy. We're gonna go this way. I'm trying to remember what the path is. Don't let anyone tell you there's a wrong way to play Souls games, though. They'll try to tell you you didn't do it right because you used this or that. Beat the game how it works for you. That raccoon would not stop for you. Man, I came up with a really good... Okay. Okay. You ready for this? I can't make a video on it, right? For the obvious reason that making a video about this is already tired, right? So we can't make a video about it. But I came up with a really good counter argument to the no difficulty settings in Dark Souls discourse. And I would like to point out to people, and I want you to carry this with you. Put it in your pocket, okay? I'm gonna stop playing for a quick second, okay? Just real quick. Okay. It seems to me that when we talk about making difficulty settings for Dark Souls, people only see it from the perspective of making the games easier. And when they think that adding difficulty settings to Dark Souls means adding an easy mode, they talk a lot about artists' vision. Oh, it would get in the way of the vision of the game. It gets in the way of the point of what the game wants you to do. Here's all the things that the game has built in for you to do instead, etc., etc., right? But nobody ever invokes the artist's intent. Nobody ever invokes the game's diegetic difficulty options when people make the game harder for themselves. Is a no-hit Dark Souls run part of the artist's vision? I would have to say probably not. Why? Because the game has a healing system. If the artist wanted you to never get hit in Dark Souls, there wouldn't be a way to heal during fights. There wouldn't be a healing system. One weapon only runs. No weapon runs. I don't think that's part of the artist's intent. Because why else would there be weapons? Clearly, the artist wanted you to use a variety of weapons. Clearly, the artist's intent is for you to swap things around, right? To an extent, it's to swap things around. We can go deeper into that, but I won't. So it seems really weird to me that everyone is so against difficulty options in a Dark Souls game, but what they don't seem to realize is that if you had difficulty options in a Dark Souls game, you could also have options to make the game harder built into the game. And not just, oh, I just won't do this, or oh, I won't do that. You can have one-hit deaths. You can have a setting that does that. You can have no weapon spawns, where you don't even have to worry about accidentally picking something up or accidentally using something. You can just hit an option to make the game harder. And people will say, oh, that's New Game Plus, that's this, that's that, that's the charm in Sekiro, that's this, that. And it's like, yes, but diegetic options that are not accessible at the beginning, diegetic options that require you to like play a lot of the game to get to, those aren't really difficulty options. Not really. Not in the sense of starting a playthrough with a certain expectation or starting the player off and setting the pace for that player from the beginning. And I think that double standard is a little questionable because it seems to me, when we're talking about artists' intent, that we eschew criticizing people who make the game harder for themselves because we adhere to this idea that the Souls games are about difficulty. If they weren't about difficulty, then difficulty options wouldn't matter because they would just be an avenue for other players to enjoy the game. But if we do see difficulty as something that matters in a Dark Souls game, then yeah, difficulty options would sort of irk us. But we kind of don't hold that against people who make the game harder and deliberately go out of their way to circumvent the artist's intent to do whatever they want. And I believe that's because in our minds, the people who beat the Souls games with no hit runs, the people who beat those games with like a dinky weapon that clearly isn't meant to carry you throughout the entire game, in our head we're like, well, they're better at the game, so they're more of an authority on the game, and so I defer judgment to them. And I think that is a very interesting thing, and I think I've hit something very true there, where it's like, no, you can't make the game easier for yourself, but you can make it as hard as you want, because that's the artist's intent, except it's not actually the artist's intent, because the Souls games aren't actually that hard. There's sort of like a paradox there, isn't there? No, they're not actually that hard. It's not really a hard game. You just don't understand the systems, and you haven't, like, you know, played with this, and you got to go get a different weapon, and you got to go scale it up and grind for 50 hours to get back to where you were at Souls-wise, or you got to restat your character and, like, learn what the soft caps are and this and that or whatever. But it's not really about difficulty. But also it's about the artist's intent, and the artist's intent doesn't want difficulty options because, like, the difficulty options are, you know, because like, it's got to be hard, but it's not really hard. And it's like, do you see what's happening here? And it's like, is it a problem because you don't want the game to be easier? Is it a problem because you don't want people to get farther than you, and you don't want people to, like, act like the game's not challenging, even though, like, anyone who plays a video game on easy is not out here going, I don't understand why people are having such a hard time playing this game. It's like, the people that play on easy mode know. Just a thing, just a thought, just something you should think about. It feels weird to criticize people who want the game to be easier based on artists' intent, but we don't criticize people who want the game to be harder based on that same idea. And then that would assume that the artist's intent is for those games to be difficult, but the same people who don't want difficulty options in the Souls games insist that the Souls games aren't actually that difficult. So if it's not really about how hard the game is, then why would it matter if there were difficulty options? I'm just putting that out there. I'm just putting that on the table. You think about it for a while. You get back to old GC. You let me know if you come up with, like, a really good point, you know, against that. I'm just saying. I see a lot of gatekeeping. I don't see a lot of ceiling closing. That's all I'm saying. You keep talking about how the room's gotta be a certain way and we can't open the doors to the room, but you keep breaking open the ceiling. I'm just saying. I'm just a guy. I just like the games. You know. Get back to me on that. What an easier mode for Dark Souls would look like. Just boost attack damage. Literally, you could do it so that weapons just do more damage. And that way, like, you would design it in a way where a player could take less hits. You do it in a way where a player is allowed to make more mistakes, or you either design it so that a player can make more mistakes, or you adjust things in a way where the player can make, or they can either make more mistakes, or they make fewer mistakes in the time it takes to beat the boss, if that makes sense. So, like, either you make it so that I can hit the enemy 5 times before I take I don't know how many hits and die, right? Or you make it so that I can take more hits before I die. So either you make player health greater, Like you boost player health or you boost weapon attack. That's like the most basic way to do it. It's the most uninteresting way to do it, but you know, it's an action game where the point is to not get hit. So yeah, you adjust the forgiveness rate of getting hit. And that's it. That's basically what I would recommend. These HD remakes are so pretty. Yes, they are. I forgot we were playing Dragon Quest. I'm so sorry. I was just vibing. This very much is Dragon Quest 1, where I'm just like, I can just boot this up and play it and talk shit. I've played this so many goddamn times. Am I going the right way? Thank God. Okay. I've played this so many damn times at this point. That's a secret area, by the way. They make the slimes exponentially cuter every new Dragon Quest game. I think they do. I really like the sprite work in these remakes. I think it would be a waste to only use these sprites for these 3 remakes. I think they should remake 4, 5, and 6 next in this style. I think those games would look really nice in this style. I have a buddy, an acquaintance, a friend. I would like to call them a friend. I would like to call them friends. And it's the ladies at Transparency. If you've ever seen that YouTube channel. I forget if it's Alicia or Kiki. I can never remember which one has this opinion. They both might have that opinion. They don't like HD 2D. They think it looks fucking ugly as shit. And I think they also hate the way these Dragon Quest remakes look. But I think this was a good choice for these games. I think these games look great, and I would love to see 4, 5, and 6 in this style. I think they're a perfect fit for this. This is also a reused area from Dragon Quest 3, a reused secret area. Designed to be chosen to keep the people of our kingdom safe. Yes. I love the HD2D. I just have to agree to disagree with them. They're super cool, by the way. I don't know the way to Rimildar. Cross the southerly bridge and follow the coast eastwards. Ere long, thou will reach a cave surrounded by swampland. Make thy way through said cave. After emerging on the other side, continue southward still. You will find Rimildar. I'm sure that bridge in two, but once upon a time, though, that all ended with the monsters thereabouts grew they got too strong. Kick their asses. The fiends go surround with each other. They attack larger. Should have fun to battle many monsters. Carry a whip or boomerang. I do like this. They added they backported whips and boomerangs into the first game, and then they made enemy encounters more than one enemy. So now you like want to switch between weapons to deal with certain things, which I'm a big fan of. It reminds me of Firion in Final Fantasy II, which I've never played, but I did use him a lot in Dissidia. And one of my favorite things about Firion is that he's a weapon master in that game, and his moveset just uses every fucking weapon in Final Fantasy II that a character can equip. Because the way that game works is you gain skill points in the things you use in that game. Final Fantasy II needs like a remake really badly because the ideas of Final Fantasy II are amazing. Oh man, too many breakfast burritos. Rest in peace, that guy. Too soon?
I know not who thou art, but I beg of thee, send word to Tantagel. The detachment dispatched in search of Princess Gwaelin is no more.
20 years late.
She was seen. The fiends did spirit her away across the swampland south of Gaul. I fear I can endure no longer.
Was that guy who I think it was? Is that Ben Starr? Or was he gonna be voiced now? Holy shit, please.
We meet again, friend.
And he sounds exactly the way I fucking voiced him!
This man is a soldier of Tantagel.
He hath breathed his last. His wounds are truly terrible to behold.
Is this thy doing?
Why would you expect that?
A message, thou sayest.
The princess was taken.
Why would you
across the
assume that I
swamp
killed that
land
guy?
South of Kol.
South of Kol. I don't mind this. I think Ben Star's pretty good. I love how this game has
We
characters
must
now.
go after her with all
I think
haste.
I think it's
Come. What are we waiting for?
I think it's good, given that Dragon
Party
Quest One has
sent in
been
search of the
remade
princess
and
was
re-released so many
surprised at our
times now
finest
that like
soldiers.
yet another remake
Surely we will simply meet the
definitely
same
needed to
fate.
be different.
If thou art afraid, then away with thee homeward, coward. I will go to the princess's rescue, though I go entirely alone.
We cannot allow our
Oh, man, this is
comrade's
treasure.
deaths to
He's
have been
great.
in vain. We shall make for the swampland. You will remain here and see that this man is granted the burial he deserveth. Hie you thence to the castle and report on all that hath occurred here.
God, my dude's just aura farming.
Friend, I would ask a boon of thee also.
He's so cool.
News of these events will only stir discord among the people. I prithee, keep.
I like
thy
Expedition
counsel.
33 well enough. I don't like 16, but I don't think Ben Star's the
understand that His
problem.
Majesty had tasked thee with learning more of the hero of legend. I wish thee luck in thy quest. Now, I.
Oh, you sick dog?
Canst thou continue?
Do not fret on my account. We have work to do.
Captain, you
Come.
haven't saved in a long time. I'll save when I'm good and ready. Hasten thee to thy church, and write in thy logbooks. Aww. Oops. I'm gonna do that. I didn't realize I was like so close to the edge of the thing. The only version one I ever played was an emulator running on my old school PC, and then it was with the original American Dragon Warrior title. Yeah. Tis o'er the bridge here and onward a little to the northeast. Alright. I like Ben Star and Hades 2. I haven't played Hades 2 yet. I want to go back to Hades 1 and finish it, but it's been so long that I'm obviously out of practice. And I would like to get to like the true ending of Hades 1. I'll save when I'm dead. But sire, saving prevents death. I don't care. Ah. Yeah, let's not cross to the other continent yet. Because I'm pretty sure going into the mountain takes us to the other continent. Divine Dagger. That's an undead, so this should kill him. Yes, good. You're kind of weird, so I'll hit you with fire. That did not do super damage, but it did kill it. That wolf's eye is out. Yeah, that's Putrefido. That's Putrefido. That's a zombie dog. That's what he's like. Holy crap, that's a lot of stuff that I'm not gonna use. That's sort of like the weird thing about. I think this was like weird about
I have thee now.
other versions of one as well, where it's like you keep running into armor and items and shit, and it's like I'm not using any of
Have
this.
thee now.
It's like I'm kind of like confused. It does also kind of creep me out. I'm not gonna lie. Can I get some doggers in the chat? I have an emote called Doggers. You may not have seen it yet, but once you see it, you'll never forget it. Can I get like one of those? Somebody use those. Are those like sub emotes? No, they're free. Okay, good. Good. Yes, yes. I commissioned a friend to draw that. They're very excited. As good. Different doggo, but I'll take it. Oh, you know what? Lunatics, are you technically a beast? You're not. Okay. Has there ever been a game where you like everything about it but the gameplay? Like the story, characters, music, presentation are great, but the gameplay is not good or maybe just not fun? Oh, man, that's tough. I think the thing for me is that like good writing, story, characters, music, presentation, all of that elevates gameplay. I'm gonna be honest with you folks. Games don't have to actually like play super well if they have really good other stuff. That gave you too much joy. It did. You know, like video games are games first, obviously. I'm not saying that your game can be not fun, but like, you know, sometimes, okay, a really good way to put it, right? Sometimes you're watching an action movie and the action movie, like the story sucks butt and it's terrible, but the action scenes are incredible. And so you don't really care that the writing sucks because the action scenes are so good that you're gonna sit through the entire movie to see the rest of the action scenes. You know? Maybe that's a bad example because like the point of an action movie is for the action. But you know, Yugo Tower games are on the spectrum where I think the story makes it worth it for me. I hard disagree, but unsurprisingly, I can't sit through a Yoko Taro anything. But yeah, you know, like I can forgive, and I'm not saying bad gameplay, right? I think if something has truly awful gameplay, I'm not gonna like it, right? Like, yeah, that'll be enough to turn me off. But most of the time, like, video games are made up of so many different components that I'm like, I can forgive some weaknesses in other things, because, you know, I'm not just there to push buttons. A lot of people are just there to push buttons. I understand that. But I like to use my mind, and I like to, like, you know, have a thought about what I'm touching and the buttons I'm pushing. My answer is Persona 1. That's actually that's not a bad example. Persona 1 is a great example of like a game with like rough gameplay that has like interesting stuff for it. Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think if there's one that I have. Play Drakengard. Oh god, I hate Drakengard so much. People will hear me say I don't like Drakengard and they'll think, oh, you never played it. I did. I played Drakengard when it came out. I played it with a friend of mine. He swore by that fucking game. I can't fucking stand that game. How much would it cost you to have to complete a bad game on stream with 0 hints? Not much. I can do it for free. I play Yakuza games on stream all the time. I don't know. Maybe SMG4, but that's mostly because SMG4 is just very easy after a certain point. Yeah, like, I really wouldn't say that's, like, bad gameplay. You know? I would just say, like, it's certainly a game that, like, gets easier. And God lo por favor. I know, I'm sorry. What would be like a bad game? Bad gameplay, good everything else that's sort of like... Oh, I was gonna say Jet Set Radio, but no, I like Jet Set Radio's gameplay. Like, no way. Yeah, I don't know. Brutal Legend's a pretty solid pick, but I know people that swear by that game. We are in Cole, if I remember correctly. Yes. Are you the horse that talks? You're not the horse that talks. Are you the priest that talks? You're the priest that talks. Is this the town that makes you old? How are we defining bad though? Just like a general sense of like, oh, this is poor. You know, like this is mediocre. Like mediocre gameplay. Like oh, this is not the best. Oh, I gotta blow my nose. Okay. I had bad luck. All I have is like PM cough medicine. None of it treats flu symptoms, which is what I have more of. Like I have like a sore throat and like a sinus buildup. Smith here recommended me. In the room above, I did espy a man fair bulging with sinew. He's surely the formidable craftsman in question. The increase in number of fiends I've seen it. Oh wait, look, this is the house from Dragon Quest 3. This is the weapon master's house from Dragon Quest 3. I'm almost certain of it. I really like Thor Hyos for the way she can find good in even the jankest games ever made. Yeah. Well, Winters gave me another long question. I'm a critical thinker who loves to analyze things and criticize stuff I don't like, but I'm also a glass half full kind of person where I tend to like what I enjoy a lot, but you wouldn't know from how much I criticize stuff I don't like about certain medias. I am an enjoyer. I like to enjoy this read, even if there's something that lessens it significantly. Does that make sense? Yes. I gotta watch Thor High Heels videos. I'll be straight up. I've never seen any of her videos. But to be fair, I don't watch any. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch a lot of video essayist content. It's sort of like it's a thing that I wish I was better about because I have a lot of video essayist friends, content creator friends, and I don't watch any of their stuff like almost ever. And I feel like such a scumbag for saying that, but it's just not like the kind of stuff that I like watching. Even though I like making it, I don't like watching it. Not like often, like it's not my go-to thing. I watch a lot of stream VODs actually and like science communication videos. Surprise. I know. The guy that writes like a science communicator watches science communication videos. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, no, being critical about things usually means you enjoy the art form a lot. Don't get it twisted. Like a lot of the stuff that I find critical about certain things, like I'm very critical of the Like a Dragon series, but if I hated the Like a Dragon series, or if I genuinely felt like I was no longer enjoying playing them to the degree where I was like actually having like a fuck ass time, we'll make it. Yes. No, actually I don't. How do I deal with Foes of Great Strength? This is literally just telling me to go into defense. Okay. The price ruled you had a blast. I did. But like even at my most miserable with like a Dragon, for example, I still have a good time. Like if you I don't know, I don't think the VODs are up anymore, but if you go watch those VODs, or if you were there, you saw it. Like I definitely got annoyed at certain parts, but like for the most part, like I was just playing a video game. And I think a lot of people feel like they can't be critical, or they don't want to be critical of something they enjoy because they don't want to come across as though they hate that thing. To which I would say, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if people think you don't like it? You know you like it. You are the one that likes. You know you like it. Dinah's face that suffer itself to be beside that of its destined lover and no other. Thou art an uncommonly lucky young fellow. Thank you, mysterious witch. Oh, this has the version of Dragon Quest 1 where the freaking flute is like highlighted on the goddamn map. Ah. But yeah, like, who cares if people think you hate something? They're wrong. If you know you like something and people think you don't like it, who give a shit? Who give a shit if people think you... Oh yeah, I'll take the puff puff. I need the achievement. Who give a shit? You know? Whoa. Are you also gonna give me a puff puff? Yeah, you can bathe in the spring. No, man, you can walk in this shit. Look at this. Other remakes of Dragon Quest 1 already did that, where they highlight the items on the ground. So it's not a new development in Dragon Quest 1 remakes, but unfortunate that it's still there after I turned off the option to not show me objective markers. But yeah, you know, just... Some people think that critical opinions about stuff indicates an overall negative opinion, but that's not true. You know, in a lot of cases, people do not develop critical opinions unless they have good things to think about. However, there is a challenge when you are thinking critically about something to also think positively about something. And that is difficult. That is a muscle you have to flex. That is something you have to practice. But also, not everything you are being critical about that you like is necessarily... You don't necessarily have to take time to talk about all the things you like about it if there is already a precedent that you clearly do enjoy parts of those things. That includes long-running franchises. If your friends know you're a huge Pokemon head, but you talk massive shit about Scarlet and Violet, then there should be some sort of like understanding from your friends that you like the game to an extent, because otherwise you would not keep playing it and forming a more articulated opinion about why you don't like it. That's just how it is. Like, and your friends, now granted, your friends can... Sometimes conversation about critical media is kind of poison, because like nowadays it's like if you say something that people think is like, if you say something people disagree with, they immediately assume that your opinions are diametrically opposed, as opposed to just you are currently talking about the negative things, but that doesn't mean you are closed off to discussing the positives. And your friends should be able to kind of like make the effort to like, you know, engage you in those positives. They can do that. Master Cold Smithy, what is more the hero gifted onto him a blade from a faraway land with he did claim that. Okay, I gotta go back and talk to that guy. But anyway, like, you know, I think it's okay if your friend is doing it. If a rando's doing it on the internet, you don't have to engage, and I don't think you should, to be honest. Unless that person has like, unless you know you've been following that person for a while and you know that they're open to it. Like if your friend says something like negative about something that you like, you can go, oh, I actually really like that actually because of these reasons. And hopefully your friend, even if they disagree when they respond to you, they can kind of like talk to you in a way that is like productive. And I think that's the problem, is that a lot of people think productive conversation is conversation that is circular in agreement. Which is not true. Like it can be productive if you both agree on the same things, but like if you both like things and you're not articulating why, you should okay, so he's not changing his tune. Got it. Like it has nothing to do with whether you disagree or agree. It just doesn't. A good conversation, I've had great conversations with people who completely disagree with me on something, whatever that is, you know? But also I think people have sort of taken the no tolerance approach that we should take to certain viewpoints, and they have applied it to things that truly don't matter or don't need that sort of like righteousness. So like talking about a fucking video game becomes like an argument about moral and ethical superiority. And sometimes it can be a question of moral and ethical integrity. But like, whether or not the Pokemon game is good, like that's not a moral ethical quandary. That's just a fucking opinion about a fucking video game. And I think a lot of times, I think the well's been poisoned for a lot of things in that regard, where it's just like we don't have. We are losing the tools to have like a conversation with each other in a context that does not rely on us having the same opinions on things. And I'm only talking about when it comes to fucking like discussing whether the new Digimon game is better than the new Pokemon game. Specifically in that context, okay? Do not take what I'm saying out of context. But yeah. Oh well. We'll get better. We always do. Time moves forward, and so does the future. I gotta tell you, so far, it's Dragon Quest 1 with extra bells and whistles. I'm cool with it. Someone take him out of context. Take him out of context. They caught GC using slurs, look. And then it's like a heavily like edited together, like, it's like a YouTube poop of someone getting me to say awful things. What if Dragon Quest 1 was really far away? I'm pretty big on this so far. I think that's their Shrine of Rain, so let's go that way, but let's also, oh god damn it, let's also heal. Because we need it, but I think we're gonna get a level up soon. This is kind of exactly what I wanted. So, the one problem, it's not even a problem. The one thing that is sort of like aged very poorly about Dragon Quest 1. I'm gonna take off my crown now, because, it's hot. Okay? They can't cancel GC, they'll find his white women memes and salvage him. One of the things about Dragon Quest 1 that has aged poorly, in my opinion, especially for a game that has been remade so often, is the pacing of leveling. What I mean is, every time you remake Dragon Quest 1, every time you encourage someone to replay Dragon Quest 1, they become more and more familiar with the game. So the problem with that is that the original game was built for players to get lost in. So investigation of like what to do next, investigation about what to do next, where to go, what do you need, how to do this, how to do that, strategies on how to beat enemies, etc. A lot of the original game was built around you going around town to town, making note of everything and figuring it out. You got to catch them on the right day on Blue Sky. Yeah. Unfortunately, my social media feed on Blue Sky, I can say this because I am diagnosed bipolar. I am an insane person. And unfortunately, I post faster than I think. Okay? So I'm very sorry. I have a very different countenance on social media, but this is more me. This is more of who I am. This is the closest to me you will get, realistically speaking. But anyway, the more people play Dragon Quest 1 again, the less time they spend figuring out what to do next, because they just remember, they know how the game works. So what problem that Dragon Quest 1 has had as it sort of like reintroduced to audiences every few years is that the leveling, the balance of the game changes fundamentally when people stop exploring. When people are no longer mystified by it and they're no longer looking for secrets and they have a general idea of where they're supposed to go and why, fewer battles happen, fewer random encounters occur, and so players, as you keep playing Dragon Quest over, if you play Dragon Quest 1 over and over again, you will hit certain points of the game at lower and lower levels. That becomes a problem because the game was balanced in a way where they expect you to be certain level when you hit those points. What Dragon Quest 1 has needed for a long time in terms of like a remake is concerned. Ports are fine, you know, you keep the original aspect of that intact or whatever. But when you're remaking it or whatever, the important thing is you need to find a way to rebalance the game in a way that takes into account the fact that players are still that players are aware of like the game's gimmicks, as it were. Because Dragon Quest 1, not a very like complex game. Very innovative, but like, you know what I mean. So having these secret spots everywhere and having more things for the player to discover in the world reintroduces, again, another great example of like how a remake can carry on the original's ideas in different ways that aren't necessarily about retaining the original carbon copy of the original material. Secret spots reintroduce that exploration to the game. So players that are familiar with the pattern of Dragon Quest 1 are still exploring now, and they're re-exploring these areas and facilitating the exploration aspect that created the pacing for leveling in the original game. So that's like so those secret spots and these little things on the ground and shit that like encourage me to go look for stuff, super good because it brings back a lot of the original's gameplay loop, and that's great because I know how this stuff works. Like I know where to go, and I mean I'm doing it right now. I'm literally just like I'm walking from point to point the way I'm supposed to, the way I always do, and it's like, yeah, like you like, but now I'm still exploring the map. If they didn't have these extra like secret spots and stuff like that here, I would just make a beeline to wherever I'm going, but I'm still exploring because I'm like, oh, they've added stuff. So now I'm going to explore these areas again like it's my first time. Very smart thing to do. Still the same game, still the same pattern of play, but returning players, number one, have like a reason to go explore. And new players have new places to see that, you know, weren't in the game before, but like it's just elevating that experience. This is the Shrine of Rain. Yeah. I just deserve knowledge, Jordan Moses. Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's public consciousness now. So even people who've never played Dragon Quest 1 might still know, like, oh, I gotta go here, I gotta get this, I gotta do that. This is this trick, this is that trick. I've seen the GC Vasquez video, so I know that there's this and this and that, and then I saw revisiting Dragon Quest, so I also know there's like gimmicks to beat the bosses, you know. And then I liked and subscribed, and I told people about GC and how cool he is and how they should watch his videos. And then everybody's said that they said that his Dragon Quest 1 retrospective was like really good, but then they watched the Like a Dragon one and he was like really bitter and cynical about it, and they were like, where did all his like joy and energy go? And then they're just like, wow, this guy's actually kind of like washed now. And then they unsubscribed, and then they blocked me, and then they muted me on Blue Sky, and then they told their friends to stop following me, and then those friends told friends, and then now I got blacklisted by Sega and stuff, and like, you know, I'm joking. I didn't get blacklisted by Sega. At least I don't think I did. On to the one who returned us, the Lyre of Ire, a treasure belongs is lost, shall I bestow the Staff of Rain. Thus was it decided, and thus shall it be, should that day ever come, alas I doubt that it will. Bro, what are you talking about? Alternate Dark GC timeline. I am on that timeline, shit. Wow, that sounds all made up. Are you okay? Of course I'm okay. I'm acting. The rain doth fall soon enough, the sun too shall fade. What would alternate universe you be feeling? The same thing I'm feeling now. I don't think I'd be very different. Something tells me I'm like the same all the time, everywhere.
Hear me.
Hear me.
Can you hear me?
That's my friend talking to me
You
after I'm
must
blackout
meet
drunk.
with Rubis, spirit of the land.
Rubis, he's
With their
back.
protection, you might stand against the darkness. Seek out a means of summoning her, of bringing her back to us. The fairies will,
How many dogs am I posting? Fuck, I'm not counting all that. Like 9?
as will, of Tantaja. Must find them.
I know projecting is part of acting, but I am making that last Remnant video, though, because I do want to make a video about something that I really like. And that's why I'm making these Dragon Quest videos. No, I don't know. Rubis is like an earth spirit. She is mother unto the realm of Alogarn, did raise up each mountain and give form to every leaf and stone. And this place in which thou standst is a place wherein the fairies did once offer up their worship unto her. Oh shit, we're here. Alright, gotta summon Lady Rubis. You can use the Zoom or the Chimera. Simply plus Star Wars to bring up shortcuts. You can put shortcuts on your thing. Hey, Yoki. Wow. But before we go. Oh wait, can we scale this tower? Oh, he wants me to go. I gotta go back to the king now. Okay. Well, before I do that, I'm gonna go exploring, obviously. Oh yeah, this was like a whole area. I think there were enemies in here. How do you feel about the Old English in this game? I love it. I think Dragon Quest's localization is some of the best ever. Crack! Can I go out this way? Can I be honest? I already want to move faster than this. I want to walk faster than the fastest speed already. I think that comes from my time of emulating RPGs on the Game Boy Advance on my laptop and holding down the spacebar to speed the game up by like 2000%. So that I could walk through towns way faster as a kid. Because I never thought the walking speed was fast enough. That's a mini medal. It's actually a prayer ring. The prayer ring is not an equipment. Oh, okay. I forgot that's how that works. You use it and then it has a chance of breaking, and the more you use it, the more likely it breaks. I think at most you get like 2 uses out of the prayer ring. I think it's like guaranteed to break after the second use. Or the third. I think it's like the third. After the third use, it's guaranteed to break or some shit like that. Alright, King. Gotta go talk to this guy again. See, the problem with like telling me where the fairy flute is in Cole is that the idea is that like I find the I go to Cole, I don't find anything, and then I come to the king and I talk to the king, and then eventually it's like, oh, you gotta go get the flute. It's in Cole, and then you have to go all the way back to Cole because in the original you don't have Zoom, and Chimera Wings don't take you to other towns; they just take you back to the king's castle in Tantagel. So you have to make your way back to Cole to pick up the item. And all of that facilitates leveling up, and then you won't be under-leveled when you go fight the golem. And then if you play the game a second time, you're like, well, I'm just going to grab the flute now, and then you're a lot lower level, potentially, when you go fight the golem. What hast thou learned? I learned. I love those little talking animations, him going. Thou wishes to know if the rumors are true, if the sphere of light, which Erdrick himself did gift unto us, hath been stolen. What arrogant nonsense is this? Whence did such groundless tittle-tattle originate? Ah, bro, chill. Please, good Chancellor. Our friend here hath clearly done as he promised he would, sought out knowledge of mighty Erdrick. The least we might do is share the truth in return. Drunker? My throat hurts. My throat hurts. Plus, he's not drunk. The rumors are indeed true. The forces of evil have taken possession of the sphere that it was our sacred duty to protect. And thus have fiends proliferated in poisoned swampland and more besides. Not everyone. Yeah, we're gonna call it after this. What did the princess thou askest? So thou didst meet with the party sent to retrieve her, as I tell all from the beginning. You can hear Rubus. Oh, they made it mandatory. Okay, they made rescuing the princess mandatory. Got it. I hear Tactics' new script is really good.
Quaylin.
Nah, that's Daisy from Mario.
Quaylin, Princess of Tantagel.
Nah, that's Daisy from Mario.
And only you that I might speak. I am Rubus.
Yeah, that's
mother
Daisy
to the
from
land
Mario.
of Alefgard. And I hereby entrust to you a message. A foretelling of how this world might be saved.
tired now. I'm
A
tired from
great
being sick.
Darkness threatens Alefgard. Take the sphere of light in hand and seek out a place of safety. In time, one will come to you, a youth who bears the blood of Erdrick, hero among heroes.
You got it.
Impart to him this message that I entrust to you. Guide him on his quest. Bid him go.
Fiends are gonna appear. Oh. Is it ever said which Dragon Quest was Ichiban's favorite in the like Dragon games? I just assumed 3. He goes to prison in 2000, in the year 2000, right? I'm pretty sure. He goes to prison in the year 2000. Right? Yeah, I think so. So he's probably
Princess,
played up to
we have
4
come far and
or
fast.
5.
Perhaps it would be better if we rested.
We need not do so for my sake. Come, let us continue onward.
Yeah, the new millennia and his birthday, sad stuff.
What is this power I sense?
I like that. I like that effect. Sorry, I'm like tired now. Is it him? Yeah! Oh, he big. Damn. He's large.
Thou bearest the
I thought he was
sphere
tiny.
of light, dost thou not, Princess Gwaelin of Tantagel?
Fiends! Protect the princess!
His almost final boss animation when you beat him was
What
forming
is the
aura.
meaning of this? Who art thou, rogue?
I am the Dragon Lord, Master of Masters, King of Kings.
King of kings? Thou art naught but a monster!
Know this, fair princess. The monster thou seest before thee is the true ruler of this world. All others are naught but pretenders. The sphere thou carriest is mine by right, and thou wilt return it to me.
Yeah. That's
'Tis
actually true, by the
birthright of
way.
He who beareth the blood of heroes, and I shall relinquish it to no other.
It is actually the Dragon Lords. The Dragon Lord, fun fact, child of the dragon of Dragon Quest III.
Watcheth over thee. Then let us see.
At least I'm pretty
whose
sure.
Power is the greater. Victory is mine.
I like the Dragon
Perhaps
Lord.
thou might consider joining me. 'Twill be a sight worth seeing, I assure thee.
Never! A hero shall soon come, just as Lady Rubis foretold. The darkness thou servest shall not be suffered to thrive. He who is blessed with the power of the light shall see to that!
A hero. Let him come. Let them all come. All shall suffer the same fate at my hand.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. Sorry.
Majesty, might I suggest we take the princess, willingly or no? There is still much we might learn from her.
Who's this? Who's this extra guy? Hello?
Those of your accursed ilk are ever presumptuous.
Who's this
Very
guy?
well. Do as thou wilt. I have what I came for. Come, we return to the castle.
Is that Mal? What's his name? Mal. The bad guy from the second game. Malbroth, Malbroth, Malboro. Malroth, Malrock.
The back fiend! Away with thee!
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Princess!
Malbroth. And so you see, it was kind of a stupid idea to let her go by herself. Marlboro. All right, come on, let me save. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'll smoke them any day. Let's go. Let's go. Still there, found not. Sorry, excuse me. Gather the 3 keys. Go to Galenholm. Got it. I'm gonna go save that princess, though. She had a guard duty. They just all died. Yeah, but like you know. Come on. Like, you know your guards ain't shit. Like, you know, you're like the Dragon Lords out there. Like, I'm not sending my routine or retinue of like loser. I guess she had like the obvious unique NPC with her, but she didn't know magic. That is true. She didn't know magic. But like when the princess can defend herself better than the guards can defend her, don't you think that means you should probably give her guards that can protect her better? Like, ideally, I want to send people who are stronger than the person I'm trying to protect. Otherwise, what is the point of sending her with protection? Anyway, that's done. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night, everybody. Have a great one. Until then, until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.